What's going on, guys? Rich Boy J back again with another live stream. How's everyone doing today? We're going to be building one of my, I wouldn't say this is one of my favorite sets, but this is a set I like quite a bit. This here Duel on Geonosis set. I wasn't planning on building this anytime soon, but I figured, you know what? Forget it. There's no reason to keep this unboxed any longer. I mean, I'd feel pretty stupid having this in box for so long, and then Lego releases like another version of it next year. So I am getting over my weird obsession with keeping these sets sealed, and we're gonna go ahead and build them. But before we get into that, it's time for the rundown. Who we got in the chat? We got that boy Jamin Grove, Jedi Bob, a prequel stud. What's going on, homie? Darth Maul, Lego, Dutastic, Eagle Beast 1186, Weo 000, Darth Stormtroopers, Playmation Shorts, Mad Dog, Sarah Valentine Bode, Steve LeBlanc, Alex Schlafer, Jedi Bob, Lamborghini Waffle Sauce, Padawan Bricks, Jonathan Trevino, James Crazy CR, G Bricks, Nick P, Cedric Warren, Cosmic Bricks, Tygo Lemons, 2AVB, Upside Down Brick, F Brick Productions, Gaming with Cody, Brickopotamus, of course, again. I didn't forget you, homie. Darth Stormtroopers, Real Lego Man Productions, Harry Customs, JWL, Nova, Robert Blouse, Gary Gazelle, Eli Does Cool Stuff, IG Lego Zone, Lord of the Bricks, Felix the B-Man, Julian Curian, Harry Customs, trying to get all the new people, Jack, / Julian HSSF, Matthew T, what's going on? Fett Clan, Bricks Films, YoMate38, Gregorio Benavidez, Darth Maul Lego. Got a lot of people in the chat today. It's going to be a good time. Like I said, I'm actually really excited to build. I just realized this camera is totally not where it's supposed to be. There we go. You guys don't need to be looking at my thighs. Stiffy! I didn't forget you. Could never forget you. Another set I actually do have here, and I might actually build this one real quick first, is the Mandalorian speeder set. I bought this a few weeks ago, literally just for the figures, and been looking at it. I'm like, I might as well just build the set, like I have it. So maybe we'll build this first, and then we'll get into this set, because this, I feel like I'm going to run through this pretty quickly. So I figured, why not make this a double header, a double build stream? But we also have, I think, at least one guest, or two guests, three guests, actually. What's going on? Got the J-Torian guards in the house.
What do you do, baby?
Hey.
What's happening, Jay?
What's poppin', bees?
Jay, there's a new quote you might want to see.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Hold on, let's see what we got. Boyo quotes. Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, Bricko. What would I do without you?
Probably a lot more than you're doing now.
True. True. Brickopotamus is holding me back.
Jealous of your 8-pack.
Got death sticks in my Java juice, cause every time I wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind. Count Dooku cut my hand off, he won't get away this time.
I have a theory. I don't think Star Wars Theory liked the song because when I went back to, I even mentioned it, I got timed out after, one comment. All of my alternate accounts on his stream, so...
Or he just got tired of people asking him about it.
Yeah, but, if he liked it, he would have said something about it.
Or he's feeling kind of beta.
Oh yeah, guys, we got Mandalorian gonna be dropping pretty soon.
Oh no.
Yeah, what time is it?
Probably
He said 3 to 4.
Dang it.
It might literally drop while we're streaming. That'd be pretty big.
Jedi Bob has seen.
Well, it'll definitely drop live.
Man,
Why is everyone taking Fridays now?
say it again?
I thought I had Fridays all to myself to stream.
I mean, trust me, I would like to be streaming Saturday, but you know, I'm back at work now.
It is the 4th tomorrow.
I don't really care about streaming on the 4th, but it's more so just like a work thing. I have to work tomorrow. Wide Brick says, I'm starting a YouTube channel. Do you have any tips? Upload often and put out good content. Of all the like ways to get successful quickly on YouTube, good content is the safest.
But don't also mix in good content with content that everyone else is doing.
That's true.
Or do unique stuff. Don't do reviews typically. I mean, you can, but I'm just saying.
You should absolutely have something that would distinguish you. Like I wouldn't discourage if someone feels they have something new to bring to reviews, I wouldn't discourage them from it. But chances are it's probably been done.
Yeah, and also have a unique name that stands out.
Yeah.
Like Jedi Bob or Rich Boy J. Or
Like
Waffle Sauce.
Or Thick Ventress OnlyFans.
Don't name it. You might get subscribers, but for the wrong reasons.
Don't summon the ultimate spot.
Bricks Film says, "How do you grow a stop motion channel?" I mean,
Good animation, I would say.
it's like you can't even tell them, "Oh, upload often," because like how do you even do that with stop motion?
No, you can't.
Yeah, you literally just can't.
Your best bet, from someone who has experience of making like a one-time hit.
Oh my god.
If you're gonna grow it, no, this is on my old channel. If you're gonna grow it, you just gotta luck out and get a really popular video, and then once you get that popular video, you need to capitalize on it and milk it to death.
So here's one thing I think brick film channels have over like any other. Oh my! Please, can someone handle the spam in the chat, please? The thing that brick film channels have over most other channels that just do like news or whatever is I feel like brick films have more replay value than just normal videos. Like you can, there's just something about brick films where people like if they just want to sit back and like enjoy something. It's like a TV show. Like if you watch someone's like, oh, like this new Lego set's coming out. There's no reason to ever go back to that video. So those videos are very like time specific. Whereas with brick films, they have more longevity. Like they can just be timeless. So I would say if you're doing brick films, and it's obviously a significant time investment, like just make sure you're creating what you feel are timeless videos.
The same can go to mocks.
Right, exactly.
Very well done mock. Like people are gonna be sharing it and liking it on Instagram or Flickr or watching the YouTube video years from now.
Exactly, yeah. Like my ATM6 video, like it hit like 70K views within the first hour. I'm not the first hour, I wish. Within the first year, and it sat there for a while. And then like earlier this year, it's at like 350K at least. Like it's my most viewed Lego video, like out of nowhere. So like mocks, like mocks also have good longevity.
But do you think reviews have big longevity?
They can if they're like.
I wouldn't say they have the longevity that mocks do, because your mock is like the reviews can be just flooded. Like the chances that someone finds your specific one are much lower than like someone wanting to see like your interpretation of a mock. So
reviews. It also depends on the set.
And the other thing about reviews is reviews can also kind of be the opposite, because like a lot of like maybe let's say you did a review on the 2000, and I'm only saying this because I'm looking at Republic gunships. Let's say you did a review on the 07 gunship in 07. I'm sorry, the 08, my bad. And someone did a review of that same gunship in like 2014 so they could compare it to the newer one. Like if I'm watching it, I might want to watch the newer review because like you have more information in hindsight, so you can kind of like compare it and be like, this is like a trend or something. You just get more information that way. So reviews can sometimes have the opposite effect, in my opinion.
And Bricks Films, one thing that kind of sucks, I mean, for me as well, because I make Bricks Films.
Hey, what's up, Lewis, bro? Good to see you, homie. Go ahead, Jai Bob.
Bricks Films definitely aren't as popular as they were 5 years ago. Because the thing is, 5 years ago, it was a lot more like people didn't understand how to do it. And like we're more like impressed by it.
Oh yeah.
They're still popular. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you still have giant channels like Ed Bound or Castle Cyclops, but it's a little bit harder to get up and off the ground making animation videos nowadays.
I think one of the biggest things is there's been so many people doing them so well that like if you want like anyone can make a brick film nowadays, but to make like a really high quality one, I think is
Oh yeah, I agree.
It's a lot more difficult to do now than it was before.
Yeah.
What's up, Tig? How you doing, man? Because it's almost like before the novelty of brick films was like, oh, like how does this person do this? Like, oh, that probably takes so much time. But there's like anyone with a phone and like can download it like a stop motion app and make their own brick film if they really want. So how do you really separate yourself from, you know, anyone who can do it? You know, you gotta have good quality.
Yeah, it makes it harder now. Like standing out in stop motion. I mean, every person can have their own style and stuff, but
I think humor goes along. I think if you have a good sense of humor, you can, even without great quality, you can really go far with it.
Yeah, just look like Flapjack Production. I mean, his animation's not like outstanding, like maybe Forest Fire, but
but his humor is really good.
Right.
And
Prequel
that's why it's
Studs.
so popular.
Right. Prequel Stud says that's why you combine a review and stop motion. There you go.
But that's oversaturated too.
Is it?
Yeah, there's so many channels nowadays that did that, and it was I would say mid 2010s is when everyone hopped on that. Like,
Oh.
I'm trying to think of some of the channels, but people would like.
Are they like silent reviews? Like they don't talk over them, right?
Not really. They build the set, they make the figures run around. I like those videos, but
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They're still a pretty saturated market.
In short, guys, there's no reason to make a YouTube channel nowadays. Everything has been done. There is no more creativity.
You can't even make live action videos because I've already stolen that from everyone.
Exactly.
Ooh.
That's why I just try to make all my mocks bigger than everyone else's.
Bricks
Full flex, but okay.
donates $2.
Hey, he says Jay coming in clutch with them boyo tips. You know I got you, homie. You know I got y'all.
You know I got you.
Lewis says you can say the same about art in general. I mean, yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just a numbers thing, right? Like the longer things exist, the more things that are kind of made.
Harder, yeah.
That's less.
With art, that's why a lot of artists nowadays do like out of the ordinary things.
Right.
Push the boundaries, but because everything else has been done before, they gotta try new ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why all the Pollocks and Warhols are so were such a big deal. Love it, love their art or hate it.
There we go. Eagle B says, "Shay, are you a Texans fan?" Yes, I am.
It kind of does suck though, specific for animation, because like animation is such a. It honestly is. If you can do it at least decently, like that's better than what most people can do. But
Oh, for sure.
unfortunately, YouTube is so filled with other people that can do the same thing, and you just.
True.
That's what I feel like the humor is always going to be the key to it. Like like I said, if you have a compelling story or just something that's just genuinely entertaining, you'll go far. And PlayNation mentioned earlier, yes, Cold Like Hoth has great replay value.
Oh yeah, it does.
This is why my videos don't get the views. I do not have that. What Jay is talking about.
Days without Jedi Bob insulting himself 0.
Except my Star Wars PSA. That one was pretty unique. I've never seen that one done before. But
There we go.
everything else.
Alright, so something weird just happened. The likes on my stream reset.
Oh, did it?
Oh, that's
yeah,
weird.
it was at like 13 and it went back to 0. That's weird.
Fett Clan says, "Have you accepted that the Jedi Temple is tan?" No, because it's not.
If you guys want to see specifically, I think it was Brickstone's asking, if you want to see someone who, like, knows how to make a very unique animation, and because of that has become very popular, go look at Pantsa Hat. He does, like, he used to do purely Lego animations, and then he kind of, like, transformed into doing, like, just a whole entire combination of all sorts of toys. Kind of like the Robot Chicken, in a way.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he has a very specific, like, target audience, which...
Wait, what's his name?
Pantsa Hat.
Oh.
But I personally love his humor. It's pretty funny. All his videos are... They're just ridiculous and insane, but they're very fun.
Someone asked, would I ever join the 501st Legion? I would like to at some point. Be cool to have a nicely detailed set of Star Wars armor for sure.
True. What are the requirements to join? Like, you have to be super accurate. You have to be super accurate, right?
Yeah, they have like pretty strict standards on like how detailed your like costume needs to be.
Yeah.
See, that's why I want to join the Mandalorian works, because with that you get a little bit of creativity on what colors you paint your armor.
Right.
I just find that amazing.
I mean, it's cool, and I have an appreciation
Yeah.
for that at some point, but I mean to some extent. But I don't know, like I don't. Mandalorians are just so overdone at this point, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah,
like.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
Like, something that was just so kind of small in Star Wars is just gone. They've taken it so far. They've gotten the most out of Mandalorian. They've gotten more out of Mandalorians than anyone could have ever imagined.
Hey Jay,
Oh, yeah.
whose fault do you think that is?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's our fault.
boy,
It's
it's
Star Wars fans' fault. Oh, that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
if Mandalorians make people that happy, then hey,
Yeah, exactly.
make your armor. Tig says he's in the 501st. He has a Return the Jedi Stormy. Dude, that's awesome. Like, send me some pictures. I'd love to see it.
Shoot.
Jay, what's your favorite college football team? I honestly don't watch college football. Jay, when are you going to do a story time? That's a good question. Whenever I first started doing story times, I thought I had a lot of stories to tell that were like worthy of videos, and then I realized I didn't. So,
You have stories.
I mean, that, like I said, that are worthy of videos.
Worthy and allowed are
Right, that are appropriate for videos, maybe.
Tell us a story live on stream.
I'll have to think. I don't know, my Lego life's pretty... My Lego life isn't that ridiculous, so...
There's gotta be Lego store employees stories, like, right?
I mean, honestly, not. I mean, most... The thing about the Lego store is most, like, people maybe aren't so willing to act a fool in the Lego store because it's a toy store. So we don't see, like, the absolute worst sides of, like, retail customers. We still get it a little bit, but maybe not as bad as any other store that wasn't for kids' toys.
Do you have anyone ever stealing?
Not really. No, doesn't happen very often.
I bet Garrett would have some crazy stories. Garrett seems like the type of person that's seen a lot in his day.
I mean, I've been at the Lego store longer than him. I don't know. I'll think of something to tell you guys.
Anyone else got stories?
Julian says, "What's the stupidest thing a customer has asked you?" Oh, I mean, we get dumb questions all the time. Like,
Oh,
Oh
really?
yeah.
the amount of people. Honestly, this is something that happened recently. Oh yeah. No, the amount of people who come in and they're like, "Do you guys just have like normal Legos?" And I'm just like, "What is a normal Lego?"
Yeah, exactly.
Fine, normal.
No, honestly, the thing I cannot stand are the amount of people who come in and like they're like mid-30s, like at the most, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are lucky. We didn't have all these like we didn't have Lego sets or we didn't have instructions when I was
my
younger.
God.
We just had a box of bricks." And I'm just like, "No, like Literally, like, some of the first, like, things that Lego put out were sets. Like, sets have been part of Lego forever. Like, you did not grow up without sets. You maybe had some, like, knockoff, like, bricks that weren't Lego. But there's...
That's where...
More people usually, like, inherited the top of bricks as, you know, passed down to them from a family member. Like,
Exactly.
that's probably what they mean. And
That's when you go full on like Jim Hopper and like go like, well, that's funny because I sure remember in the 1970s the space and the police sets.
Who?
Like,
yeah.
Jim Hopper. Oh, never mind. Stranger Things thing.
Bob, you're such a nerd.
Hey, you're a nerd too. You like Lego Star Wars.
That is true. I can't deny it. I can't deny it. Trading Brick says, "What's up, Jay? I saw you're close to 10K on Instagram. Make sure you go follow him on Instagram." Yeah, guys, appreciate that, Trading Brick. Check out my Instagram. I don't really promote it ever on my YouTube channel, but other than like the comments, I mean my description that no one reads. But yeah, if you aren't following me on Instagram, go show your boy some love.
Have you ever had like the customer saying, "Oh yeah, this Lego is it's not for me, it's just for my little cousin." And
Oh, when it's clearly for them.
yeah.
Nah, I mean the thing I'd never really know, but there are tons of people who come in, and I've talked about this on stream before, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm buying this for my son. He's 16 and he still plays with Lego." And they act like it's like this like crazy thing, like, "Oh my god, he's so like I can't believe he still plays with Lego at the age of 16." And I'm just like,
I'm like, bro, I'm 26. I still play with Lego. What's up?
like if there were like one place for you to be where whatever age you play with Lego wouldn't matter, it's the Lego store.
Yeah.
Did you slap him? Because I would.
Unfortunately, not. I'd like to not get a lawsuit.
What'd you say to him? Where you're just like, yeah, I can't believe these freaking over 14-year-olds playing with Lego, right?
I usually just say like, "Wow, what a loser." No, I'm kidding. No, I wouldn't say
you're
that.
like, wow, you really failed as a parent.
You're like, "Wow, I bet your child has no friends. What a dummy." No, I'm sure Waffles has experienced all of this to some extent. The worst are the parents who are like, "Oh yeah, my son, my little Billy is 13 years old and he built this Lego set all by himself," and I'm just like, that's who it's for. Like the pictures literally show you what to do. Like what?
Oh my god, that is so amazing. Tell me more.
Like, it blows my mind when people see like a set and they're like, "Oh, you couldn't," and like, "Oh, I could never build that." And I'm like, bro, if you like, the pictures show you exactly what to do. Like, if you can work at McDonald's and like press the picture of the hamburger, if you can recognize that, you can build a Lego set. It's not that hard.
Wow, all by himself? He's such a big boy.
Wow, your son's a genius.
Genius.
Jay, have you ever played Battlefront 2? Yeah, I've played both Battlefront 2s. I really wish they named the new Battlefront 2 something else.
Oh yeah.
Battlefield 1.
Star Wars Battlefield 1. Yeah, basically.
Star Wars Battle Back.
I also wish they named the Clone Wars something else, because even that's not like obvious.
Yeah.
I just like for things to be obvious. Like, if something already has a name, pick a different name.
I mean, the Clone Wars is pretty obvious. Hey, what's the show about? The Clone Wars?
No. I'm saying, if I say, "Oh, have you seen the Clone Wars?" and it's like, "Oh, which one? The original one or the new one?" Like, I don't like having those conversations.
See, one of them is just Clone Wars, and then one of them is the Clone Wars.
That's still not good enough.
Yeah, like lots of people don't know the difference. Even I.
Well, those people are stupid.
They're dumb. I bet those people couldn't build a Lego set.
I bet those people still are building Lego sets when they're 16.
Exactly. Wow, your son's a total loser. How do I sort the figs on my wall? Every minifigure basically has a number assigned to it, and I just do it that way.
They called me a nerd.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're not a nerd.
I just throw all my figures in a bin.
You're just a hipster.
I'm not gonna lie to this.
No.
Saw Turtle says, I just explained to my friends at my house that I do stop motion and show them my best one that's funniest, and they're like, cool. They mess around with sets for a minute and talk about how cool it is. I'm not sure how to react to that.
Oh, you know what's weird is how there's such a big misconception between middle school and high school.
What do you mean?
Everything I've ever heard about high school was more or less only actually like there. What I mean, I'm basically saying like middle school is horrible and high school isn't that bad.
I thought middle school and high school. I thought high school was more enjoyable than middle school.
I think, but it's funny because back as a kid, everyone, not like actual high schoolers, but like media or whatever and shows would act like high school's this god awful place that everyone hates. But I'm like, dude, once I got to high school, everything was like going great.
It just depends on your experience. Like some people have a good time at school in general, and some people don't. Oh, shout out to Timeless for the $1.99 dono. He says, F's in the chat for Gore, Grievous's pet. Did Grievous really have a pet?
Oh wow.
If he did,
Yeah, it was like
In
a
the
rifle or
Grievous
something.
Player episode.
Oh, it's in the Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Oh my
Pretty
god.
forgettable episode.
Yes, Jay, it's still canon.
But what episode is it? What episode was it?
It's in season 1, I think.
Season 1.
My favorite Star Wars pet is Boggles from Resistance.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
my favorite Star Wars pet is R2D2.
My favorite Star Wars pet is Borgullet.
My favorite Star Wars pet is Chewbacca. Don't at me.
Oh my god, I guess I never showed you guys this. Basically, remember when when I was down in Savannah, Georgia, for whenever I was gone a couple weeks ago, me and my cousin made this horrific video just because we were tired and it was like 3 a.m. and my grandparents have like some of like the old 80s toys.
Star Wars toys?
Yeah, like old 80s Star Wars toys. Like there's an ATST, there's like a bunch of the figures.
That's pretty cool.
And somehow they had like one of the new Rogue One Saw Gerrera toys, and like we were just screwing around, setting them up, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a video about Saw Gerrera using the Borgullet or whatever it's called, Boogallet. I don't know what it's called.
Borgullet.
How does he say it?
Borgullet! Borgullet!
Yeah.
He says Borgullet like it's one word.
Yeah. So me and my little cousin made a video about that, and then basically we made. I'm not gonna spoil it. Basically, the Borgullet is something that you wouldn't expect.
A girl?
No.
A Skywalker?
No, it's Hulk Hogan.
Oh.
She had like the old 80s Hulk Hogan giant thing, like rubber toy.
I was like, is it like the rubber one? Oh my god.
Yeah, and basically we had him like destroy everything, and it's like, I don't know.
I'm glad y'all had fun.
It's on my YouTube channel, but I'm not showing it to practically anyone ever because it's horrible.
Sloth Turtle says, my dad has some of those 80s toys, B-Wing, Millennium Falcon, and an AT-AT. I really wish, I don't know, did any of you guys grow up, I know you did, Jedi Bob, but any of you other guys grow up playing with the Star Wars action figures? I feel like
Yeah, I did.
I started with
Why are you
Lego.
assuming I did?
I thought you told me you did.
I said wrestling figures.
Maybe it was someone else
I
then.
I had a friend who gave me this big bucket filled with like old 90s Kenner Star Wars toys.
Wow.
We got rid of it a few years ago, but I remember playing with a lot of those figures. They were really good.
When I first got into Star Wars, like, Lego was what I was initially exposed to, so I never really had a reason to, like, look outside of that. But I have friends, one of my good friends, like, is super into the Star Wars figures, and, like, there's just some really cool stuff they made.
Like the old ones or the Black Series?
This was like the vintage collection, so like it would have been maybe like mid to late 20s. I'm sorry, mid to late 2000s. No, right now it's Black Series. So the
vintage collection's still out. I have some of the figures.
Well, they brought it back out. Like that's actually a recent thing that they brought back.
Well, I agree with you. So the thing about the 80s ones, I actually have a giant love for Star Wars action figures, even though I never really played with them as a kid. But because like if you just go back, it's so cool to see like what they used to make, specifically like the vehicles and like playsets they used to make back in the 80s. Like
Right.
they made this gigantic Death Star like in 1978.
Hmm.
It's just this enormous thing that my dad had, and I'm like, that thing was awesome.
Playmation says he had the 03 to 07 action figures. Honestly, I'm amazed at just how many obscure figures they made. Like my friend has sent me photos of some of the figs he has, and I'm just like, I cannot believe they made that person.
I mean, they made them in Lego.
No. Dude, like Lego has some obscure figures. The action figures are a whole other level. Like it's insane, dude.
You pay more for just one of them.
No, I'm they'll literally make anyone an action figure. Oh, shout out to Matthew T for the 501 donate. He says, Jay, what do you think of the Lucasfilm Disney employees who want the sequels to be moved to Star Wars Legends? I think that'd be a bad move. Is that even true?
Oh, that's not even true.
I'm gonna bet money that that's not even true.
We get these rumors from like Mike Zero, like
Exactly. No, that's not true, dude. If the prequels remain a part of Star Wars canon, and this isn't me taking a shot at prequels. Like even if you're a prequel fan, you have to acknowledge they were hated for a large majority of the time. If those stuck around, the sequels are gonna stick around.
That's true. Well, maybe not episode 9. Maybe they can get rid of episode 9.
I mean, even episode 9.
Oh.
Even episode 9.
If they're like, hey, let's just remake episode 9, I think everyone in this chat would be like, yeah, okay.
Right, but they're not gonna do that.
Well, we can dream. No, you know what the best and this.
So this is kind of a cool set. I like this set.
The Clone Wars line of action figures from
Oh,
like
yeah.
2009 to like 2012. Those figures were sick. They had so many vehicles. They had an MTT, gunship, turbo tank, and they were awesome.
Alright, see a Playmation. The thing about the Clone Wars figures, they didn't like do them super stylized. Like they actually made them look like the movie figures, which was nice.
Yeah. Oh, I miss when Star Wars action figures used to be good.
Wait, really?
The action figures now are, I think, quality wise, insane.
Oh,
So
yeah,
if we're talking about the 3.25-inch.
Oh yeah, the 3-inch figures now. I mean, the quality is fine. They just don't release nearly as many.
6 inches the way,
First of all, they stopped. First of all, Disney was dumb and was like, let's put them back to 5 points of articulation, which was the dumbest decision I've ever heard. Who would rather? You're literally going downscale.
But that's also when they introduced the 6-inch figures. Their idea was, I still think 6 inches is a better scale for action figures.
Oh, for sure.
I agree, but the problem with Star Wars is a big vehicle place, and like
True.
6-inch figures, you can. I mean, they're gonna make that snow speeder, which is awesome, but like,
They actually already made that. My friend has it. It's
Yeah.
really nice.
are you gonna get it?
Nah. I told him to buy me one. I haven't bought Black Series figures in a while, but I would.
How about you own some?
Oh, I have a ton. I have like at least
Oh, really?
30 or 40. Maybe I'll show them off in the end of this stream. Maybe we can do that because I never
Oh yeah, please.
actually have shown you guys them.
Well, but the thing is, the 3/4-inch figures sucked for a good period of Disney's time.
They
And
did.
then they released the new Vintage Collection, which the Vintage Collection figures are just mini Black Series figures, which are awesome.
Right.
But the problem with them is they charge like, I don't even remember, like $20 per, or not 20, but I think
No, the
13,
6-inch
14.
figures are 20. I think the 3 inches are like 13.
14, and that's a lot. And then plus on that, the vehicles they make for the 3/4-inch figures now are so expensive. The X-Wing they made not long ago was like $100. And no 1/4-inch Star Wars X-Wing should be $100. It should be like 50 at most.
I don't know I don't know. I haven't messed around with it, so I don't know how like good or bad the quality is.
I mean, I guess I don't know either, but the quality is good and the detail's nice, but I'm like, how could a kid like get into Star Wars action figures nowadays?
Brick Guild says the only Black Series figure I have is the First Order Flame Trooper, which is awesome. That was actually literally the first ever Black Series figure I bought.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
I used to have a Black Series Jabba, Luke, Stormtrooper, and like a few others.
Why'd you get rid of like those aren't even that old? Why'd you get rid of them?
My cousin was really into Black Series, so I just gave them to him. He still has them.
Wow, you're such a nice boy.
But is Black Series even targeted to kids anymore?
I mean,
they're in the toy owl.
Right, true.
But, I mean, I don't know. It's just like Star Wars action figures as a whole. No kid could really get into that at this point.
I'll tell you, the biggest problem with the Star Wars figures now is they're so impossible to get. Like, any given time you go into like a Walmart and you're looking for Black Series figures, there's probably not going to be any there. Like there's just such a shortage in supply. It's weird because like Force Awakens and Rogue One both like flooded the market, and it's like the Rogue One toy specifically didn't do well like at all. Like you can go into Walmarts today and still find like Jins and Cassians.
I still do, and I'm like, ugh.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah,
that kind of made them backtrack, and now like there's just not a ton of them going around. Like I wanted the Mandalorian Black Series figure, and I could literally never find it in stores.
You never will. And the same thing goes for like the Black figures.
And that's so annoying. Like imagine if Lego was like that. Like you might be able to find the set the day it comes out, but after that, good luck.
That's what it's gonna be like for 5 and first battle packs.
Nah, I mean it might be like that for a few weeks, but like it's not gonna be anything long term. Like the nice thing about Lego sets, like even the like super sought after ones, like they're not gonna be hard to get after like a few weeks or so.
Yeah.
For the Lego, you mean?
Yeah, I'm talking about Lego. Because he was saying that's how the 501st battle pack is gonna be.
At any stores, if it gets sold out, it'll get restocked really quick.
Exactly, yeah, like
Not just at the Lego store, but like at like places like Toys R Us, Target, supermarket.
yep.
Toys R Us.
Hey, they're still open in the UK.
Yeah, in Spain too.
Bro, have you been to a Toys R Us in the UK since you've been there?
No, I haven't, because they're all so far.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask, was it weird going to a Toys R Us?
I mean, we haven't experienced anything for that in Toys R Us in Europe, so
I should ask Intert if he's been to one.
it's nothing really particularly.
Dude, I miss Toys R Us, man.
I do and I don't. I never bought Lego from there. I just like going.
Yeah, it was just cool. Like when I was really young, I got Lego from there all the time. Like that was where I always went for Lego. When I started buying Lego in my adult age, I had no reason to buy it from there. But it was cool seeing how big their Lego aisle was. Like when I was younger, it was like a Lego corner. But like now like the Lego aisle in Toys R Us, it's like multiple aisles. Like it's crazy.
Not now, but 2 years ago.
I mean, and the Toys R Us that are even still around, like they have.
I used to always go look at the wrestling figures, to be honest. Like that's where it was. They were the MVP of the selection for wrestling action figures.
To this day, I still will check out anytime I go to like if I want to check out the toy aisle, I go to the Lego aisle first. I'll swing around to the wrestling / like Star Wars figures section because those are usually close to each other, and then I'll check out the monster trucks.
Oh, I'm a little bit different. I go to Lego aisle, even though I know everything's gonna be there that I could imagine.
You never know. You might get lucky. There might be something on clearance.
And then I'll go do the Star Wars action figures just to look for fun.
Yo, Django Brick same. My grandma used to always take me to Toys R Us. Good times. My grandma took me to Toys R Us to buy my first ever copy of Lego Star Wars, and it literally changed everything in my life.
Yeah.
What do you think you'd be doing if you didn't have Lego right now?
Man, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Crying.
It's so weird to think like, what the heck would I be doing right now?
Maybe you'd be more successful.
Right. I would be like a famous rapper.
Maybe. I wish. I don't know if anyone here has seen Futurama.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I saw it a while back.
Wow.
Cabba Brick says, "What's up, Jab? Actually going to refix the same set. Do you have these figs on the minifig wall?" No, I'm actually partially building this set so I can take the figs from the set and put them on the wall.
Oh, but is that the Mandalorian scooter, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, because you did buy the whole set to get the figures, right?
Exactly. It was just cheaper that way.
Yeah. It's a good set, too.
Yeah, I like it. The speeder is pretty cool. I like it.
And those Mandalorian Super Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
I got that fire, boy. Although not very easy to army build, though. So, yeah.
Yeah. What figs are exclusive to the set is the Yoda. No, the Yoda is the same. Yoda pretty much hasn't changed since this set. At least the, prequel Yoda. But Poggle and Dooku are both unique to this set.
There's this really interesting post from Minifig Hub, and I don't know if it's a girl or a guy who runs the account, but they did a count of what character or how many episodes a certain character appears in,
like in the Clone Wars or movies.
Clone Wars, that's a show.
Oh, okay.
And so for super battle droids and normal droids, it's 96, and for clones, it's 92. And then they did a bunch of others, like Toggles and 5.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But what was interesting is Anakin is in 96.
Wow.
So, and I was like, I guess that makes sense. They focus on Anakin a lot, which is fine. That makes sense. Obi-Wan's in 77. Ahsoka's in 70. Rex is in 60 of the episodes.
I can't believe Anakin's in that many more episodes than Ahsoka. Padawan Rick says, "Jay, my Walmart has a Sith Trooper battle pack for $6. Should I buy them all?" I mean, I wouldn't buy them all, but I don't know, if you want to army build those, that's a great price.
What battle pack did you say?
Sith Trooper battle pack.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I don't really care to have an army of Sith Troopers.
Same.
Because
55 from Mace 1.
this Dooku figure is awesome. I love it.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Does he still have the chrome lightsaber hilt?
He sure does.
And I would pay to have I need to buy a bunch of these chrome helts. They look so good on camera when you're just doing animation or just whatever.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know if I told you guys this. Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, couldn't you just make? This is something I've been curious about. Couldn't you make your own chrome C-3PO? Isn't there a chrome paint you can buy or whatever?
I mean, there is. It wouldn't look good. If you want something that actually looks decent, you have to get it actually chromed, which is an expensive process.
Yeah. Dang. Oh, I was watching Brick Plumber, everyone's favorite mock builder.
Oh yeah, the homie.
Yeah, I was watching his mock or whatever that Jay loves. And I thought, I don't know if this is the official version, but Jay, can you tell me, does he have a chrome C-3PO?
He sure does. Oh my god. Literally out of the box, I have a cracked brown 1x2 plate.
Oh,
Seriously?
oh dear.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
This is worse than the Lime Apocalypse of Bionicle. So
Jeez.
2008, 2009.
I mean, I know this is an old set, but jeez.
But what piece was it?
A 1x2 brown plate.
Ooh.
The reddish brown, the cursed reddish brown. Be like that.
Literally new out of the box.
Yeah, exactly. It was new, so yeah, it's good.
Bro, I would love to have that C-3PO figure.
I know, me too. Oh, but yeah, he does have he has the real one. It was so annoying. Everyone at Legoland Star Wars Days had that figure because they were giving them out to them. One of the years they had the event.
What, they were giving them out?
Yep. So everybody who went to it has one. Because I was I don't. There were a few mocks there with the chrome C-3POs, and I'm just like, how do so many of you guys have this figure? And they're like, oh yeah, they were giving them out. a few years ago, of course.
What?
Yeah,
And
dude.
how much does it go
It
for?
looks so good in a mock, though.
Dude, that figure, that's like a $400-500 figure.
Oh my. Ooh.
And I don't understand why Lego doesn't do like those type of figures anymore. They were so much fun.
Oh yeah, like the TC-14 too. Like
Oh,
No, I meant
yeah,
chase
okay.
figures.
TC-14 was. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
Although, that's another thing. Why don't they make like a chrome Captain Phasma for like May the 4th or something? Like, there's no reason not to.
I really want it. At one point, I had hope that we'd get a Chrome Phasma. I have no such hope anymore. Like Chrome Phasma will never happen. I think.
I mean, we're never gonna get any exclusive figures. Lego just hates us.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but
I would.
Wow, really.
Of course.
If Lego really loved us, they would have given us.
leave it to Jedi Bob to make it personal.
Lego hates me. I know it. Like, why, Chrome Vader. Like, why do we need Chrome Vader? Give us Chrome something that's actually useful.
You got a point.
I agree.
I mean, Chrome Vader is cool though. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, we could have had better Chrome figures.
Daniel Rambo says, Jay, do you think we should get a Lego Star Wars movie in the same style as the Lego Batman and Lego movie? Dude, I've talked about this a lot, actually. Like, a Lego Star Wars movie would be so freaking cool. Like, if they did, because, I mean, Han and Lando show up in the Lego movie, right?
That would so.
Yeah, they do.
Like, if they did, like, a buddy cop movie with, like, Lego Han and Lego Lando, that would be just so freaking cool, dude.
Oh my god, the jokes.
Yeah, I mean, they could,
Like, it wouldn't have to be canon or anything. It could just like the Lego Batman movie obviously isn't canon. Like, they could just tell like a story with Lego. Like, it honestly shocks me that we haven't gotten one. I mean, I think it's more probably a license thing, because like Disney wouldn't. I don't know if Disney would like
Yeah,
let Warner
yes.
Brothers do
Yeah,
it.
the DC
Yeah.
Batman, Batman is much more like bigger to new things, and it's not just one.
Right.
Remember, kids, Disney doesn't like fun.
Oh my, Jedi
Disney
Bob.
is the same
Jeez.
company that would never in a billion years let Family Guy do the Family Guy Star Wars.
Oh,
And the same thing goes for Robot Chicken. Like, Disney would have, if Disney would had Star Wars at that time, they would never ever let them do it. It was only because Lucas was cool about stuff.
Yeah.
Say what you will about how he made movies, he had a good sense of humor.
I wouldn't say he had a good sense of humor, but okay. Like, Lucas also let like the what you call it, the Christmas specials be a thing. Like,
yeah.
there is something to be said for being somewhat protective over your license. Disney takes it too far. But I don't think Lucas is a good example, because Lucas Lucas was gonna let Star Wars detours be a thing. Like,
What's wrong? I don't even know what that is. What is that?
oh, look it up. Look up Star Wars detours. It is
Oh,
it is the most cursed thing you've ever seen in your life.
It is.
Do I wanna know?
Oh, that looks like tons of fun.
What was Obi-Wan's joke?
Oh god, what is this? Wait, Seth Green was gonna make it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, is it like a comedy show?
Yeah.
Oh, well then it may have been fine. I mean,
But was it gonna be like mature-ish, like Robot Chicken?
I think so.
Oh.
honest to God, I would just fund someone to make. If I was Lucas, I would just say, alright, Seth Green, make Robot Chicken, but Star Wars, which I guess they already did, but make it a full show. We want a Chrome Dexter Jester.
Julian says, not before we get a Platinum J fig. Yes, that's what we need.
You're...
Let me ask you this: if you had a Chrome C-3PO, would you put it in box or would you keep it sealed?
I mean, like, if I had, I would open it. I don't really care to keep that sealed. Like, I would just put it on my minifig wall. I wouldn't put it in Mox because it's not really detailed. That's the only reason I wouldn't put it in Mox. Like,
Oh my
it,
God,
like
it's
the
so beautiful.
the newer C-3POs have more printing, so I would use that.
Really? Over having a purely gold shiny C-3PO?
I mean, I like that, but like, I mean, if I were doing a prequel mock, like maybe, especially since there's not even like a prequel C-3PO figure, so that might fit. But like, if I'm doing like an original trilogy mock, I don't really need, a bright chrome C-3PO. Like, He's
I'm
not.
talking about the golden one, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like C-3PO is like dirty in the original trilogy. He's not like Revenge of the Sith C-3PO. You know what I mean?
So throw some dirt on him.
Oh, okay, Jedi Bob.
I mean, you could.
Some dude named Kedem says the only thing Bob likes are girls, Cult of Christensen, and going back on his original position in an argument.
You said that?
Some dude named Kedem.
I mean, that's a little bit painfully true.
Tangible Arrow brings a good point that I agree with. He says, Detours is so cursed, I would rather have the Rebel Stormtroopers. I agree.
If they just, I mean, I think it's fine to have a comedic Star Wars show. I think that would have been fine. I just think the art style was garbo.
It looks horrible.
Yeah. I wonder, do you think there's customs Chrome C-3POs?
Oh, there are. I mean, there's tons of knockoffs.
I don't mind having a knockoff.
I mean, I would lose respect for you.
Official Lego one that's
And see you, Kappa. Take care, bro. No, I would. No, it's not. It's not. I mean, I don't know. I would lose respect for you if you bought a knockoff Chrome C-3PO.
Really?
Absolutely.
For like $10 on eBay.
I mean, I'd still lose respect for you.
Why would you lose respect? It would look awesome. Why wouldn't you?
I don't do knockoff Lego. That's against the Boyo code.
Oh yeah.
The Boyle code.
Buffy Ducks as Jedi Bob watches D-Force clip. You won't be saying it was fine afterwards. So Star Wars D-Force. So Lucas was gonna make this or whatever. Oh, there was a trailer? Oh wow, look at that. Oh man, guess what I gotta watch the other night?
Jurassic Park.
Not Jurassic Park, Back to the Future.
Even better.
Yeah, I know. My brother was because he hadn't seen whatever Back to the Future in forever, and I'm like, it's a perfect movie. Not really, tons of plot holes, but it's a perfect movie. And we watched it, and I'm like, this movie is so great.
Oh yeah.
It's better than Star Wars. It's better than everything. No, it's not really better than Star Wars, but it's close to it.
It's better than most of Star Wars. I think that's fair to say.
It's really good, man. It's just, oh my god, every moment, like once you get into the third act, there's not a moment that goes by without some sort of intense, energized scene going on. Like, there's always like, oh, we solved this issue, oh, bam, another one comes up. Like,
Yep.
Marty gets his parents back together, oh, they got a kiss. Okay, they got a kiss, I gotta play the song, and then he's gotta play the song, and then he starts to, it's like, oh my god, they just layer it, so you don't get a break.
I really like the score of the movie too.
Oh yeah.
It is.
The music is great.
I like the second one better.
Bruh.
Bruh.
I hear like I don't know. I think the first one is by far the best. I thought the second and third ones like I don't love them. Like I think compared to the first one, the second and third are pretty weak in my opinion.
But they weren't like terrible sequels.
Yeah, they're not awful. I just mean like they don't. Like I think I'd say Return of the Jedi is a better sequel threequel than the second and third Back to the Futures.
There's a funny comment on the Star Wars Detours trailer, and it says, when you ask me how I know we're not in the darkest timeline, I point to the fact that this show never made it to air.
Exactly.
I don't know what this is, I don't like it at all. It's not even funny.
Yeah, we definitely dodged a bullet there.
Ooh. Thank God for Disney. Thank you, Disney.
I'm telling you, bro. Disney saved us from a lot of misery.
Can we get a hashtag thank you, Disney, and Disney is the best thing ever in chat?
There we go. Finally, Jedi Bob is showing some love for our corporate overlords.
Yeah, I mean, Disney is totally not, I don't know the word, never mind. Slipped my mind.
A big soulless corporation.
No, I don't know why I can't remember it, but I'm not, never mind.
Show some respect to the mouse.
Disney is literally gonna.
Watching.
Oh yeah, Disney's gonna become a monopoly.
Disney is the closest.
Already is.
It already is. Disney is the closest thing in our real world to like Octan from the Lego Movie.
Honestly, yeah, they own like almost all of like. I mean, yeah, there's still other things like Universal, but just nothing. They got Star Wars, Marvel, like Fox, The Simpsons.
I was like, when they like, it was one thing, like, you know, for them to own Marvel Studios, but when they got Fox, oh my god, like,
it's like calm down, man.
jeez.
They're thirsty.
I wonder, like, I honestly got wonder if like the government's ever gonna step in and be like, all right, Disney, that's enough of you guys, and they're gonna be like, no, it's not.
I think that's like an FTC thing.
Bro, if Disney owns half the franchises, how many politicians do you think they own?
Exactly.
Bro, Disney's crazy. Oh, I really hope Disney doesn't keep getting bigger.
Good luck.
I don't want to live in a world where Disney owns everything. What's next? Is Disney gonna buy Apple?
I was like, Apple would be like, if Disney bought Apple, that it's all over. Like,
Yeah, honestly, dude, they're gonna be like looking at your phones and be like,
Or Amazon.
your
oh my
Disney.
God. They buy Amazon. They buy like
Wow.
Google.
Jay, they're gonna become the Empire and we have to be the rebellion.
That would be so ironic.
That'd be fun.
That's not. Jay would never.
Jedi
fight
Bob,
against
would you become a rebel?
Oh, against Disney? 100%. I'd be like, yeah, screw Disney.
That's how I feel about George Lucas.
And Ben Turner said, can't wait for government the movie.
There needs to be a movie where like a band of like time traveling rebels go back to 1999 and stop the Phantom Menace from being made. They just convinced George. They just convinced George to stop making movies.
No, they just need to convince George to improve.
Or they make it better by using current technology and
Alright, Jay.
The prequels would be better if they use older technology.
Yeah.
Daniel Rambler says, if we don't hear from Jedi Bob tomorrow, we know what happened. Guys, Disney's coming.
Bruh, F in the chat for Jedi Bob. Bro, can we keep up the coffin dancer too? Oh, someone needs to clip like Jedi Bob saying like, "Oh yeah, I'd totally be a rebel against Disney," and then the coffin dance.
They're coming after me.
Yo,
Alright.
Blue Brick, get on it, bro.
Jay, I give you a time machine. It only goes back to the year 1977. That's not even the point of the question. I give you a time machine, I'm gonna send you back to like 2 years before the Phantom Menace's script is like fully finalized.
So
You know, like-
1997, because he finished the script right before they started filming. Anyways,
Started filming in
continue.
98. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. So I send you to whatever that was, and you will be able to help George Lucas make the Phantom Menace. What is your first line of action?
The problem is there is no quote unquote helping George Lucas to make that movie. Like George is
You
in,
have full rights to beat up George Lucas if you want.
like I can actually influence him to.
I mean, if influencing means that you're gonna give him a sucker punch, yeah.
Oh my god.
You can convince him. It might be illegal, but you're not gonna be charged. You'll be fine.
I mean, I'll start just with like, okay, actually, we just need to have like a philosophical discussion. Like, I would just be like,
Oh, yeah.
George, like, what is Star Wars to you? And then he'd explain it, and then I would explain to him why,
Lasers.
and then I would explain to him why he's wrong, and then we would go from there.
You wouldn't help him write the script. You wouldn't take a script and be like, all right, we're just gonna change this, and this, and this, and this, and this.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like we need to start from the very, George needs to reevaluate, like, his approach to just movies in general. Like, it's not like oh, George, give me your script and I'll fix it and make this good. Like, it just, from the ground up, everything needs to just be fundamentally different.
All right, fine, Jay. You're George Lucas. George Lucas doesn't exist. You get to make the Phantom Menace.
Well, the movie would certainly not happen 10 years before the next movie. My main villain wouldn't be racist aliens.
I mean, hey, racist aliens are pretty neat.
Oh, really?
They're racist, so why wouldn't we want them to hate
Oh my
them?
god. Okay, no. The aliens themselves are not racist. The aliens are racist caricatures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see the racism there.
Dude.
Are you serious?
Oh.
Dude. Listen to the Nemoidians.
Listen to Watto.
Jay's just alienist. I know, Bricko.
Oh my
Thank you.
god.
Hashtag Jay's alienist.
Big chungist.
Oh my god.
Honestly, God, I'm a little scared to see what Jay's movies would look like.
Why are you scared?
I don't know, because I feel like you just abandon every, like, clone battle type of thing.
But I like. Okay, no. Like, I've never said I don't like the clone battles. I just say that they aren't good in the prequels.
But I feel like you get rid of clones altogether. You're like, clones, they don't exist. Jedi, there's only one of them.
I'm not
You're
against.
all crazy.
Oh, okay. I'm not against getting rid of clones, but I wouldn't just do it. Like, I'd have to think about what makes the story better.
Let me ask you this: would you still have Jedi in the movie, or would you just?
I don't.
write them
Of
out too?
course, there would be Jedi.
I don't know, Jay. I don't know. You know,
Oh my
I'm just gonna
God.
make sure.
Oh my god, dude. I don't think you understand like how I feel about Star Wars.
Honestly, God, I would still follow like the beats that the prequels were going for about Anakin turning to the dark side.
I mean, that's like the whole point. Like, you have to follow that. Like, the prequels without Anakin going to the dark side aren't the prequels.
They're just movies. Random Star Wars movies. I don't know. I feel like if I got to go back in time, I'd just be like, alright, the Phantom Menace and the Attack of the Clones are going to be a little bit... Attack of the Clones is going to become Phantom Menace, and Phantom Menace is not... We're just going to start, Anakin's already midway through his Jedi training. Obi-Wan and him are buddies. You get to learn somehow about him and his mother, and bam, then we can kind of go off from there. He can still have fun slaughtering Tusken Raiders. He doesn't tell Padme. Padme is like, oh, what happened? He's like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, alright. And you can even still have, like, a giant battle for Geonosis. I don't know. You just gotta improve the script.
I guess if we're just talking about like overarching like story elements, I would just get rid of the Chosen One thing, like the prophecy, like throw all of that away.
Oh my god, that is so stupid.
Like, most pointless addition to Star Wars. Anakin would have a father. Anakin would not have had a virginal birth. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, absolutely not. I would just eliminate the character of Qui-Gon. Obi-Wan would actually be a main character in the first movie.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you start it out at Attack the Clones? Like, would you start it at the beginning of the Clone Wars, or would you start it way earlier?
I would start it I would start it right before the Clone Wars. So, like, when the movie starts... Yeah, no, I guess I would start it, like, in terms of, like, the content of the galaxy, yes, like, before the Clone Wars starts, but I'm not taking any element of Attack of the Clones and putting that in the movie. Like, I will not take a single thing from Attack of the Clones. Like...
Really, even his mother dying, you wouldn't take
Nope.
that?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
What's the impetus for the war in this alternate one?
I'd have to think. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to think of a good reason for why. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I'd give it more thought before I'd commit to something.
Well, I kind of like the idea that star systems want to leave the Republic because the Republic is becoming the corrupt government. Like,
yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong
that
with that.
overarching story is a good story of how,
But like, how we're like,
how democracy descends into fascism, but it wasn't very well executed.
right? Like everyone talks about how corrupt the government is, but we never really see it. Like,
Yeah, so you gotta... Well,
the way Jay
we
would
can see
do
it
it.
because slavery is still allowed in the Outer Rim.
Yeah, and the way Jay would do it is, show not tell.
right? Yeah.
It's a basic screenwriting rule: show not tell.
I think there's a good story behind.
the prequels as of now do too much telling and not enough showing.
For sure. Absolutely. I'm trying to think, what would be the big catalyst behind the war? Like, obviously, there would need to be some corruption in the Republic, but how do you tell that story well? Like, what is the corruption?
Hey, have you ever thought about going into the movie business?
Nah, not seriously.
Why?
I mean, like, I love analyzing Star Wars, and most movies I like, but I don't know. I'm very. I'm. The thing I like the things I like. Like I have a general appreciation for movies, but I wouldn't have enough of an appreciation to like any given project. Like, oh, I feel I have something significant to offer this. Like, Star Wars is really my peak when it comes to movie interest. Like, I would work exclusively on Star Wars projects if I had that ability. But I don't think I could just be, like, a director or a producer. Like, I would want... I couldn't dedicate so much of my time to working on projects I'm not super interested in.
I don't know. It seems like you would, you'd like working on movies.
It'd be fun. It'd be cool. But there's just other things I think would be more fulfilling for me.
Like, I don't know if I'm allowed that.
I mean, what I'm doing right now, Star Wars stuff.
I guess.
Jacob DeVore says, I have never heard you say anything good about Star Wars other than Episode 8. Is that true? Have I never said anything good about Star Wars?
You don't really talk about the originals too much, to be fair.
I mean, like...
I think the reason that is because, you know, every stream you have to debate and defend TLJ against the haters. So...
I don't even feel like I talk about Last Jedi that much. Like...
Well, you do.
I feel like I used to, but, like, recently, not really.
I would say if we had a little pie chart.
Like, what's the what was the last, like, real debate I've had about The Last Jedi on stream?
On stream?
Like, it's been a while.
It was a week ago.
Oh, was it? Oh, about the Resistance bombers being too slow?
Or
Yeah,
about
That wasn't even something I brought up myself. That was just, like... That was more reactionary than...
No, we talked about the
thing
ending
is
and
that
how like
other
the
people
Luke not
bring
being
it
there
up.
didn't make sense.
Or the fat lady in the prequel humor
And
The Last Jedi.
That's also something... I didn't start that. That was just something you guys brought up and I responded to it.
If I made a pie chart, 50% of Jay streams are about the prequels. Maybe 10% about the sequels. 0.5% about anything else.
About girls.
And then 25% about Jedi Bob's random shenanigans.
Nah, that's 100% Jedi Bob talking over people.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Love you, Jedi Bob.
Yeah, we can instead just talk about how great the original trilogy is. We can do that. I'm totally down with that.
Okay.
Before we do that though, I need to think of like exactly how the war would be constructed. I don't know. I guess what I'm kind of, if I'm doing these movies, Palpatine's not scheming nearly as much as he does. Like, part of the things I think holds the movies back is like Palpatine's just doing way too much. Supposedly.
I don't talk about myself in the I used to.
I don't know. I wouldn't be against the idea of just some... No, I mean, that's kind of what they do. I don't know, maybe the Emperor, like, secretly, like, funds a group, like a clone army to terrorize the galaxy, giving him a reason to start an army and give himself more powers. And the clones are just, like, evil monster-looking things. I don't know.
That doesn't sound very good at all. I don't want evil monster clones. I just want normal clones.
Even worse than that, though, in Legends it's suggested that the Jedi are the ones that are the clones.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh wow. Well, it's never. I don't think when the initial big novels set after Return of the Jedi came out, they weren't sure what the Clone Wars were going to be.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they
Yeah.
threw out well, it could be this or it could be this or this idea could be it, but it could be just a small part of the Clone Wars. So, but one of them that was floated out in the Thrawn trilogy was there were these they cloned Jedi, or they were trying to, and they all failed, and they either bred or they. So yeah, there was just these crazy powerful Force wielders.
Yeah, that was one
around.
of the antagonists in the Tron trilogy.
Yeah, exactly.
Joris Sabaoth.
Sabaoth,
Was a clone of a Jedi, but the clone went crazy, and he was like this big dark side user, and it was ridiculous.
Well, the way I'm explaining it makes it sound worse than it actually was. I think it wasn't amazing, but I don't think it was the worst thing
It wasn't
ever.
that bad, but
No.
it was your typical Legends shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean it was better than Palpatine coming back as a clone in and then in the film. And people like to bring up the clone of Luke as this trilogy is rubbish because there's a Luke clone, but really he's not in it for very much at all.
He gets off pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean that you could say why was it necessary at all? That's a fair point, but to say it ruined that's the reason why all these books are rubbish is a bit far.
I don't know. I think the entertaining the idea of a clone Luke in a trilogy is converging on this entire thing is ruined territory. I mean, Leia flying in space ruins Last Jedi. So, boom,
I mean, it doesn't
roasted.
ruin the whole movie, but it's stupid.
Boom, roasted.
I mean, it is. I mean, not even the logic of it. There's nothing wrong with the logic of it. Yeah, she's a force wielder. It's just dumb when you look at it. You're just like, this is what?
Yeah,
It looks redundant.
That to me is something that would work best better described to someone or in a book or something
Yeah, I could see that.
And that kind of thing you can imagine more just done better in your head.
That's why it failed, because visually there was no good way to present it to make it look very good.
Well, also, I think that Harry's passing didn't help that at all.
Yeah.
No, everyone was expecting her to die right there.
Yeah, that's true.
If that's just how Leia died, I don't. That would that would have been
Okay.
very
People
unfortunate.
People are upset that that's how Akbar died. Imagine if Leia died the same way. People
Oh, man.
would literally riot.
Oh man.
And they get so upset about Akbar dying that way.
I got upset about Akbar because I feel like he deserved. He had a perfect slot to die, and they kind of just didn't use him in a way that would have worked well.
But why is Akbar such this great character that
Akbar's just a classic character that people have fond memories of.
He is not a
Like
classic
Legends.
character.
He is a classic.
No, he is
character.
not. No, he
Yes,
is not.
he is.
No, he is
Yes,
not.
he is.
He is not.
Dude, he's as classic as Greedo is.
People
Did Greedo deserve a more respectful death?
Yeah, he did. He deserved to die by being shot by Han Solo.
Greedo should have went out like a hero.
No, Akbar, and I don't care what you say. People do like Akbar.
I'm not saying people don't like him, but saying he's this classic character that deserves a noble death, you're reaching so hard with
That is not reaching.
That is
I've talked to
absolutely
many
reaching.
people, and they all agree. They're like, yeah, I would have liked to see Akbar do that. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Akbar's really cool.
Hot Funny Man says it's a trap.
Exactly. That's the only reason people even know his name.
I'm just saying, I think it would have been cool if he was the one to steer the ship and just murder the Star Destroyer.
I just wish
I personally
Akbar
think
wasn't
it's
in these movies.
Yeah, yeah, a character named Akbar suicide bombs into a star.
Oh my god.
It's a real. The real tragedy is that Crix Nadine isn't in the film. I mean,
I'm just
devastated.
torn apart, bro. Why is why is General Riken not in the movie? He was the one that told us that Deathmark is a hard thing to live with.
Where's Jan Dodonna when you need him?
Exactly. Why didn't he get a respectful death? Crix Nadine is a classic Star Wars character. He should have taken Holdo's place.
I'm just saying. There was
Just
a
as
good
good head.
opportunity. There was a good opportunity.
No, we should.
But I just don't understand why. Like,
Because, I mean, at the end of the day... Sorry, you go, Lamborghini.
We should have had Dak Ralter.
right? Yeah.
No.
I mean,
No,
Dak
that's
Ralter
the
come back from the dead.
No. Here's the thing. You had Akbar there. He was already seen to be in the Alliance. People, everyone did know him to an extent because he was in Return of the Jedi, so everybody had some sort of knowledge about his character. Why not just utilize him while you're at it and use him to do the Holdo stuff? Like,
But that's like the whole. If your argument is why have a new character do something interesting when you have an old character that can do it, like that is a terrible way to write movies.
Also, people have a big problem with Holdo not telling Poe the plan. Can you imagine if Akbar didn't tell him the plan? Would we even like him anymore?
That would be the biggest character assassination since Yoda in Revenge of the Sith.
Both a thematic assassination and then a literal assassination.
Also, my other, not an issue, but something funny in The Last Jedi, if anyone ever watches it, there's this scene, and it made me die laughing. It's where like one of the ships are running out of fuel, because Star Wars, and it's the guy, and he's like, Godspeed, rebels, like that.
He says Godspeed.
Yeah, do you guys remember that?
Yeah, before he gets shot.
Yeah, but then as soon as that happened, I was like, I looked over to my brother, I'm like, he didn't have to die, and he's like, what? And I'm like, well, think about it, it's gonna run out of fuel anyways, why didn't he just go with them? It's not like he was like, you could have just set the thing just to keep going by itself. I'm sure there's not gas pedals on the ship, so, in the end, that guy didn't have to die.
I don't understand, all the ships were getting blown up.
Yeah, but he stayed back on the ship to supposedly... I don't know why he stayed on the ship. I guess to, like, steer it, but it was gonna run out of fuel anyway.
I don't know.
If you watch the scene, it's a little easier to explain, but it was funny. I was like, that guy did not just have to die like that.
I thought the ships were just getting blown up anyways.
No.
That was the medical frigate that ran out of fuel. And Hux or one of the assistants sort of says, like, their fleet is dwindling now, or, like, they're picking off one by one, sooner Cruiser will be the only one left, or something.
He had a better chance than there, yeah. Godspeed, rebels! One of the funniest lines in Star Wars, dude.
Why is that so funny?
Because it's so insane. It's just so unexpected. The way he screams it like bloody murder. You're just like, what? It's so funny.
Yeah, but Darth Vader screaming no is perfectly fine.
No!
Did I ever say that?
No!
I'm just drawing the comparison. Like, there are a bunch of, like,
I've never heard anyone say that.
You've never heard that Darth Vader screaming no is ridiculous?
No, that is fine. I've never heard anyone say it. I've never heard anyone say it's okay.
I said it sarcastically, Jedi Bob.
I don't know, it sounded a little bit,
For a minute, then you would understand.
I don't know, Lamborghini, it sounded a little bit serious to me.
It's we do all of this for the lulz. It's always for the lulz.
It's all staged.
Jotaro says the Holdo scene retcons the old hyperspace canon. What is the old hyperspace canon?
I've never heard of that.
Someone break.
Hyperspace is basically a plot device. It suits the writer's needs.
I'm honestly curious. What is the old hyperspace canon?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Is there a book?
Is that from like Clone Wars or something?
Not the old hyperspace canon. How dare Ryan Johnson not adhere to the old hyperspace canon? The old hyperspace canon is what my love of Star Wars is entirely based on. Honestly, the only old hyperspace canon I know of is when Han Solo's like, this ain't like Dustin Crops boy. If we go too fast, we can bounce into a soup. What is it? He's just like bounce too close to a something or something with a supernova. That's all the hyperspace canon I know about, and it was literally just gibberish. That's why I don't understand people talk like when Han Solo has that line.
I didn't try to run him. I thought you said the ship was fat.
Quiet, or you're gonna be floating home. Han Solo
Watch
is.
your mouth, kid. You'll find yourself floating home.
Han Solo is
We'll be
great.
safe enough once we make the jump into hyperspace.
But seriously, what is the old hyperspace canon? Can someone please tell me where it came from?
I'll look it up. What is it called? The old.
Why are people upset about that and they aren't upset about midichlorians destroying the old Force canon? What about that?
Hyperspace canon. What? It's prior to, and this is on Wikipedia. Prior to the invention of the hyperdrive, the hyperspace cannons were used by the first core world colonists to launch their
No. Cannon with one N, not two.
That's more a means of transportation than, what stories are deemed real.
I'm not finding anything on the old hyperspace canon then.
Do you know that Han Solo line word for word? When he tells them...
There are some lines that are just said way too quickly that, I can replay them in my head and, how he says it, but trying to verbalize it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Hold on, I want to find out what that line is. Bounce too close to a supernova. Han Solo. What is this line? Traveling through hyperspace. Oh, here we go. I got it. I got you guys. You guys wanted it. I got you. All right. Traveling through hyperspace ain't like Dustin Crops boy. Without precise calculations, we could fly through a star or bounce too close to a supernova, and that in your trip real quick. There we go.
I can't believe Ryan Johnson didn't.
What's that flashing?
I just love Luke. He's just like a little kid. I thought you said this shit was fast.
How does this work? Why do we have seatbelts? What's going on?
Wee, outspitting. Wee.
I got it.
Jotaro says, I meant in the old visual guide that was made by Disney, it said if you go into hyperspace, you go into a different dimension. I mean, you might, but I mean, I don't Star Wars is not beholden to these books. The books are just for the nerds. These aren't things I think that they have to adhere to 100% of the time. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
if that was the case.
Hyperspace is literally just a plot device to move people from point A to point B very quickly.
Oh, shout out to Lego Mike for the $10 dono. Appreciate it, dude.
Can you imagine the director's commentary if they adhered to every single rule ever laid out in a book? They'd be like, now here what we really wanted to do is a really cool thing where they jump into hyperspace and we'll have this amazing cut in the soundtrack and this big noise at the end. But we didn't do that because this book from 1999 stated that we couldn't do it, so we had to do something far less interesting.
Yeah, that's fine, Jotaro. I mean, yeah, I don't have problem with book retcons because I mean, like I said, that just stifles creativity. Don't even get me started with the World Between Worlds.
That's my favorite Star Wars Rebels episode that I haven't even watched.
Did you deliberately skip it?
You haven't seen it?
No, I just haven't gotten into it yet. We've taken a giant break from. We just got on season 4. So.
I don't know. I still feel like Han's line there makes it obvious that if you're going into hyperspace, there is absolutely a risk of hitting something. Like it's not like you're invincible. If you just really cared about getting into the specifics of it. I don't know. With how cool that scene was, I'll accept the fact that it is contrary to some book.
I actually never had an issue with that scene. I know a lot of people were like, "Whoa, why didn't they do this all the time?" And I'm like, you can't say that because Return of the Jedi does the same thing. Why don't they crash an A-wing into a Star Destroyer all the time?
Plus, the Malevolence already crashed into a moon.
Oh, it did.
Into hyperspace.
Oh yeah.
So I never liked that argument. I'm like, the whole scene was fine.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, they basically configured the hyperspace to make it just crash.
Oh no, the hyperdrive is directed into this moon.
Why didn't you tell us you had such a great battle droid impression?
The droids.
Well, I just got promoted.
Dude, I cannot stand battle droids in Clone Wars.
Oh my god! And the droids are amazing.
They're
looks like I'm in charge now.
They're just so annoying.
Stormtroopers, they're absolutely fine.
I love the droids, dude.
Like the first few like when I started recently watching it, the first few episodes, like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like the one where they're like they're trying to get through the trees in the first episode, and he's like, "Oh, I can do this, no problem." And he like tries to go through and like flies out of it. I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny, but just the constant like the nasally voice, I just can't stand. I'm just like, please stop talking.
That droid that gets locked up by Obi-Wan.
I love that one. He's like just depressed.
He's so depressed.
It's like, oh. One of my favorite battle droid moments. There's a couple. There's one in the Phantom Menace where he goes, does not compute. You're under arrest.
You're under arrest.
You're under arrest.
If I don't, maybe if they had the episode 1 voice in the Clone Wars, I would maybe tolerate them more. I just can't stand
Is it
the
really
voice.
the voice?
It's just ugh.
I don't mind the voice. I like.
They just sound so twerpy.
I mean, they're droids. That's what they're supposed to do.
They're not twerpy in episode 1.
Yeah, well, in episode 1.
They're not even twerpy in episode 2. It's literally just episode 3 where like at the beginning when George Lucas is like, oh, let's make a funny scene, and the super battle droids are like slipping in oil and getting incinerated and like kicking R2 over. Oh, yeah. You stupid little astro droid.
I see, you hate that scene. I've never, ever had an issue or blinked an eye at that scene. It's not like it's a great scene, but I'm just like, okay. Like, it never bothered me.
And it's not, I'm just saying it's just not what the droids initially were. Like, to say, oh, the droids were meant to be this way, I don't think it's true, because they weren't always that way.
I mean, that's true. But, I mean, I don't think their change is the worst thing ever. I don't mind it at all. Gives them personalities, gives me to, I guess...
It's so funny, like, you hate the fact that Hux gets kind of turned into slapstick in The Last Jedi.
The droids were never intimidating.
I mean, they are. They absolutely are. Like, at the beginning, in episode 1, like, the Jedi, like, speed run from them. Like, I'd say... But they're still droids, like, just in general, like... Like, they kind of... I'd say they kind of fear the droids. Well, to a certain extent, because...
The B-1s enslave the entirety of Naboo.
Right, yeah, like
the palace security.
Right.
They hold like all the people hostage. They are intimidating.
Oh, snap! Shout out to Lego Mike again for the $10 dono. Appreciate that, man.
I mean, I guess that I don't know. They're not really. They're not.
I'm just saying, bro. George did the droids like Ryan Johnson did Hux.
No, because well, first of all, Hux is a human. A big difference. Hux is a main character. He's not just one of the soldiers. He's Hux, like Tarkin of the new movies.
Sure.
That comparison is not acceptable.
Oh, I mean, it's the same thing, man. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's the same thing in one sense, but I mean, in behind-the-scenes footage of Episode 1, he goes, "Yeah, these guys are like worse than stormtroopers. The Jedi can slaughter them like butter."
But they still aren't slapstick.
I guess they're not slapstick.
There's no like the droids aren't like blubbering and like the droids. I mean, I guess the like you're under arrest scene. I'm still not sure. Like, is that humor that George is going for there? Like, is that scene supposed to be funny?
That was supposed to be. Of course, that was supposed to be funny. funny. What else was it supposed to be?
I mean, it might just be a droid getting confused. There's just no other humor like that in those movies, so I'm not really sure.
I could see it being humor, but just not in the same degree that they are in the Clone Wars.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
same thing like with one walking around with just its legs when they're taking off, like boarding the ship. Like that's obviously meant to be slightly humorous.
I don't know. I've never had an issue with the droids.
Oh my god, Lego Mike again. Oh my god, thank you, dude. Appreciate that.
I found them pretty funny.
Die, Jedi dogs. Goodness.
I hate that.
I'd say that's definitely humor.
Yeah,
That's so much. Stupid.
I don't know. I just prequel humor in general just doesn't really land for me. So
Well, that's coming from a person that doesn't like the prequels just to begin with, so of course it wouldn't.
I mean, okay, no, you're making that argument backwards. Like the culmination of reasons is why I don't like the prequels. It's not like I go into the prequels saying I don't like them and then I find reasons after the fact. So like part of the reasons I don't like them is the humor.
I'm saying you don't like them from just acting to dialogue to begin with.
I mean, and the humor is part of that. Like
and a lot of the humor, specifically Phantom Menace, is pretty god awful. But like,
oh yeah.
The episode 3 when they're burning the droids, I mean, I'm not saying like I laughed out loud, but it didn't make me like go ugh, gross.
I never said that scene was like I never said that scene was gross. I'm just saying I'm just saying the droids are slapstick there and they weren't slapstick. That's literally all I said about that scene. Dude, Lego Mike, holy crap! Oh my god.
Oh, why is he?
Shout out to Lego Mike again with the $20.
Making it rain.
Bro, I appreciate it. What a legend. Django says, "Did you find the funny parts in Last Jedi funny?" I'll give you my top 5 funny moments in The Last Jedi. I think the funniest moment for me is when Hux is about to pull the pistol on Kylo when he's on the floor. Like, that's like top 5 all-time funny Star Wars moments in my opinion. So I love that.
That was funny.
When Hux like is about to pull the pistol on Kylo, absolutely.
I just thought that was cool. I didn't think that was funny.
It's supposed.
The way he's all shook up and he hesitates is like, you know, I don't know. I think that just added a bit of nuance to the whole thing.
I thought that was supposed to be like it's not like there's more going on. It's not purely a humorous scene, but I think that's part of that's like a humorous scene. Like there is humor there. Like
given their relationship and what just happened.
Yeah, like the fact that he walks in, he literally has no idea what happened. All he sees is Kylo vulnerable. He's like, you know what? I might just off this guy right now. And then Kylo starts waking up, and he's like, okay, maybe not right now. Like that's humorous.
I don't know. I just thought it was a cool scene. I liked the scene. I just didn't think.
There's humor. There's humor in there.
Or is that the bench swallow?
This is I don't know where this fits in my list. But when Rey's the fact that Rey was super annoying to the caretakers, I thought was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny.
Like when she's when she shoots the hole in the hut, and then Luke's like, "What's that?" And then she looks and he's like, "Oh, I was cleaning my gun and it went off." And then they pull up with the bricks and they have to fix it. And then when she's training and she cuts the thing down and they're on the cliff and it just blasts right through their stuff.
So Julian posts a comment, and this is from someone who's not who's not a big fan of The Last Jedi, but he says the yo mama joke was incredibly misplaced. The thing about that joke is, it coming from Poe, there's no issue with that. Poe is, go back to The Force Awakens. Poe is and witty.
Yeah.
Goofy, wacky, lighthearted, and it takes a lot to get him down.
Poe's a Chad, and Chads do things like that.
I wouldn't ever cheat on Cole, but Poe is.
Oh my god.
Here's the problem with that scene. It's not Poe, it's Hux. Hux reacted way out of line in that scene. Like how he's just repeating himself. It's just dumb.
He repeats himself once, and then he's like.
It's dumb because he's doing this stupid at that point, just have them start shooting at him. That was beginning of my issues with Hux. I'm like, no, Hux should just be like, all right, just kill him. I don't care. Like,
That's just typical villain hubris. Like that's.
Yeah.
no, that's not typical. That's dumb villain humor.
No,
Whatever.
that is typical villain hubris, bro. In every other franchise.
I
villains
don't
monologue
ever
for
remember
5
anyone in the
minutes.
Empire doing that. I don't remember anyone in the Empire doing what Hux did into that wacky.
I mean, Vader chokes out like the Imperial officers in the original trilogy are, I'd say, treated on that same level. Like Vader's like cracking jokes with them. Like,
You've had this argument. The difference is, and it's all comes to how do we see them getting on.
hold on. Before you get into this, I got some shout outs. Shout out to Lego Mike again. Oh my god, $20 more, dude. He says, thanks for being you. I'm glad you feel that way. I try. Matthew T says, you missed my earlier donation, but the Clone Wars murdered the Battle Droid character. I mean, to say that they murdered a character, I feel is a stretch, because there wasn't much there, but they definitely, like, I think they took it too far. Like, the Battle Droids in the Clone Wars are, I mean, but they're silly in, like, and Revenge of the Sith, so I guess that's kind of consistent with it. Battle droids are just all over the place. Like, battle droids are just what we need them to be. Like, if they're like conquering a city and like taking people captive, like they're menacing and like people are like following their rule. But like if they're fighting Jedi, oh, the Jedi's cut them down like butter. You know, they're like, oh, like the room's full of droids, we'll never make it. And then Qui-Gon's just like, oh, it's not going to be a problem. But then Episode 3. The Emperor's like, you know, hurry before more security droids arrive. And it's like, oh really? Like, right? We had such a big problem with those guys. The droids are just like most.
I mean, it's the same thing with stormtroopers, though. Like, oh, stormtroopers aren't a problem 1 minute, and then the next minute, oh wow, there's too many of them. Let's go.
I'd say stormtroopers are far more consistent, though. Like,
this isn't the argument. I want to have the argument about Hux. Oh, and there's another donation.
Oh yeah.
he says, okay, fair, but patting a door spider droid on the head and yelling and saying "good shot, boy" kills a part of me each time I hear it. I can see that. Like, treating a droid like a dog is pretty silly.
I thought that was funny.
I mean, yeah, like it's cute, but it's still, if you care at all about like the sanctity of battle droids, like that's kind of goofy. Like,
the problem with that scene for me is that there's like 3 separate jokes with those 2 droids on top of that landing platform. There's like the one where it's like, I can't see them, where'd they go? And then it falls off. And then there's the other one where it's like, focus your fire on sector 113265 or whatever the number is. And the other droid's like, 1137, what was that again? Like, I think either one of those would be okay if it was just one joke. The fact that they have a joke with, like, every time they cut to the droids, it's for comedic value.
I don't know. I respect people for not enjoying the droids, but me personally, I really do actually enjoy it. But I totally can actually see why someone wouldn't.
I think if I had to pick it one way or the other, I would say I would want the droids to just generally be menacing. Like, they can be funny sometimes, but in the Clone Wars, they're just funny like all the time. And it's like you see battle droids and you're like, all right, where's the joke? Like, anytime the battle droids are on the screen, it's like, all right, it's time to be funny.
So the thing
Battle droids in Rebels, on the other hand.
Oh yeah.
So the thing about people being offed in the Empire, the Imperial officers, which I don't have an issue. I have no issue with them dying. And I think there might be a slight comedic sense to Vader just killing them. Just like, they're just falling on the floor. I don't mind that. But I do think there's a matter of how they show it to make it almost a more, not respectable death, but maybe in a way respectable. So let's take a look. You look at, basically every time Vader starts choking one of them or anything, people are just like, it's a silent, the guy's just being choked out. It's a very like, yeah, I guess you could find it funny, but more or less you're just like, oh wow, okay, Vader really doesn't deal with this type of stuff, and it's not like They're squealing. They're like, oh, like screaming. They are just being silently choked out. A pretty brutal way to die. If we take a look how Hux is dealt with by Snoke, yeah, it's a funny moment, but man, it bugs me and rubs me the wrong way, because they're showing, oh, look at Hux, he's so silly and goofy and wacky, oh, let's all laugh at him. And I'm like, could you not have just had him start getting choked out like what they used to do? Because in that way, yeah, okay, he's not this all powerful officer, but it gives him a little bit more of a, what would you say, not a respect, but I can't find the word.
I think Jedi Bob, you need to go back and rewatch the scenes where Vader's choking out officers. Like, there is some like absolute humor in those scenes. Like when like Vader's like throwing quips around, and like Piet's just kind of standing there awkwardly while the guy's getting choked out. Like, it's just, there's definitely there's humor there. Like, I wouldn't to say that like Empire takes the villains so seriously, and like The Last Jedi doesn't take officers so seriously. Like, I don't agree with that. Like,
it's not officers, it's Hux.
I know, but he's an officer. That's the relationship. Yeah. Like it's honestly, it's like a direct comparison between, like 4 to 5. It's almost like 7 and 8, right? Like in A New Hope, when Vader chokes out, is it Mati or Gerard?
New Hope, he doesn't choke anyone out.
He does choke someone. Like, literally one of the first.
Of course he does.
Yeah. What?
I thought in A New Hope he.
Well, okay. The guy doesn't die, but he definitely chokes him.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm stupid.
Is it Gerard or Mati?
Whatever the guy. We all know who we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when he chokes Mati, it's more serious. Like it's done in more like a serious vein, and then they kind of make a running joke out of it in Empire. So like in Force Awakens, like Kylo chokes out the one guy when he's getting news about Rey, and I'd say that scene is mostly serious. But then like it kind of becomes like a joke the way they treat officers in the next movie. Like it's there's the direct parallel there in the treatment of officers.
So even if we just take away the treatment of officers, Hux 100% is just Tarkin for the First Order.
Nah.
In the Force Awakens.
Nah, he's not. He's not.
Nah.
He's not?
No.
Tarkin didn't make a Hitler speech.
Tarkin was also more reserved. Tarkin was also more reserved. Like from the very beginning in Force Awakens, Hux kind of comes off like slimy. Like even when he when they're talking to Snoke, like Hux like tattles on Kylo. He's like, "Oh yeah, we had the droid, but Kylo thought it was more fitting to like go after the girl." Like that's kind of.
I didn't mean like. I meant more or less just that hierarchy, the main officer position, not like the actual personality.
I mean, yeah, but even so, they're two different characters. Like Tarkin has class, and Hux is he's a bit of an upstart.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I still think I would have been okay. I don't mind them, choking out and even making jokes out of it, but it's just the way it's done with Hux, of him just being and I did it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's funny to an extent, but it also just
it's hilarious when Kylo throws him in the cockpit. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, why do I care? Like, this guy is not obviously gonna do anything. Where in The Force Awakens, I mean, his speech is pretty freaking not intimidating, but.
No, it is. It is.
I mean, I was going to say, actually intimidating. You can, after Last Jedi, you can never do Hux. You could never, ever do anything with him. Because they literally
That's not
the
true.
floor with him.
No, they don't.
Make this character
I think honestly, I don't have an issue with it because it's kind of like the hierarchy. Like Hux, like to the soldiers is like a big deal, but in his like circle, he's kind of. Like they put him in his place. It's kind of like Krennic. Like Krennic, like to everyone else, like he's menacing. Like, and he's a good villain in that movie. But when he deals with Vader and Tarkin, they all just kind of disregard him. Like, oh, like you're not important. Like it's that same type of dynamic.
Hux isn't supposed to be intimidating to Kylo.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
like Hux is intimidating to the soldiers.
To the Resistance.
Not necessarily. He doesn't like.
I would say he's supposed to be, but you know who's not?
He doesn't have any he doesn't have any scenes with them. Like all Hux's scenes are like with his either his inferiors or his superiors. Like Hux doesn't. The only time Hux deals with the Resistance is in The Last Jedi when he's about to have Finn and Rose killed. Other than that, he doesn't interact with.
To the audience now, in The Force Awakens, you had some sort of like, all right, this guy be semi-taken seriously. This guy is, means business to an extent. Once you have those Last Jedi scenes, that's never coming back.
That's not true. Like you act like Hux is complete humor and he's not to be taken seriously. But even at the end of The Last Jedi, when Kylo's like, more, Hux is like the voice of reason there. Hux is like telling him like, yo, like let's not lose focus here. We have the Resistance cornered. Like, don't get caught up with this guy. And Kylo is like the reason that all of that falls apart.
That's actually a good point.
It's still done and it makes sense.
Hux is, regardless on or whether or not he got turned into comic relief, Hux is like a foil and a voice of reason to Kylo, who's just an edgy teen.
If anything, that doesn't make Hux look silly. It makes Kylo look like a monster.
No, I agree, and I do like that scene where he's like, "Do you think he's had enough?" But like, that's still. I mean, by that point, while watching the movie, I'm like, oh wow, this guy's so stupid. Like, and maybe this is just me, but I always after I watched The Last Jedi, every time I saw Hux, I was like, ugh, fuck that.
I gotta do a shout out. Oh my god. Shout out to Lego Mike again. Holy crap, dude. He says, I love your streams and Lego creativity here in LA. Remember me, I'll be here with you boyos for a while. Get your umbrella J # witness me. Oh my god. That boy Lego Mike is literally making it rain.
Witness me.
And shout out to Jace. He is the son of the trending brick. Hope you guys are enjoying your Chick-fil-A. That sounds good. I wish I had some Chick-fil-A. But yeah, dude, your dad's an incredible builder. You are in great company. I wish I had, family to build with. That's pretty awesome.
Ace, watch your career with great interest.
I do agree, though. He is the voice of reason, but there's just amount of respect, and this might be just me and how
honestly,
Star Wars,
I think
everyone's different, but me, after I watched The Last Jedi, I just couldn't get him.
I think you'd be good to rewatch that movie. I think you the humor might stick out to you a lot, just remembering what you saw in the film. But I think if you really watched it again and looked at all the scenes with Hux, you wouldn't feel as stark on it because Hux has some moments in that movie where he's to be taken seriously. Like I said, it's like Krennic in Rogue One. That's, I think, the perfect comparison. Krennic, I think, is still a very viable villain. Krennic is intimidating to a sense. But once he deals with, people either on his level or above his level, you see, he's maybe, there's still levels to this, right? Vader kind of looks down upon him, and Tarkin absolutely looks down upon him, and literally steals his homework. So,
I think, while that's definitely true, I wouldn't say that those moments are necessarily inherently comedic. Obviously, be careful not to choke on your aspirations. That's definitely comedic. There's no.
That's fun, too.
That. But I think Hux does have more straight up comedy moments.
Yeah,
even if they are set as his superiors talking down to him, they are still funny. Whereas Krennic's superiors talking down to him are just that. They're part of the story than more part of we're gonna have a joke here.
Yeah.
Sure, but that's still.
Krennic isn't treated in the same value of Vader doesn't just flop him around the floor, he just starts choking him, which I feel like that's a more proper way if you want to kind of make a little joke about how cocky these officers are and stuff. I think that's the more proper way to do it.
I think that's also a Snoke thing because the dark side users in this new trilogy are treated as more extra. Snoke is extra, Kylo is definitely extra, even the non-force users, the other antagonists like Hux and Phasma, they're treated as extra, so it's just everything dialed up.
But then that's a movie problem.
I also think so. I think I like the fact that, so if you look at it, like Kylo kind of shows restraint on Hux through the first two films. Like he chokes him out, like right after Snoke dies, like he chokes him for a bit when he's like I'm the supreme leader, basically kind of cementing his authority. But up until that point, he's kind of like shown restraint. So like at the end of the film, where Kylo is like totally unhinged, I think it's fitting for his character at that point to just be like, I'm done dealing with you, like throw him against the wall. Like I think that made sense for Kylo to do that at that moment.
So the thing that drove this home even more, so The Last Jedi ends, whatever. You know what? I'm not too fond of the Hux stuff with The Last Jedi. I like the few scenes where, yeah, when Hux is being choked out, I'm like, this is the kind of stuff I don't mind. Like, I'm cool with this. Like I said, I just think there's a way to show how not unintimidating, but how non-threatening in the grand scheme of things maybe these officers are to them. I think there's a proper way to do it, and I think
they're non-threatening to their superiors. Like Hux, when Hux is dealing with, when Hux is about to have Finn and Rose executed, like he's treated very seriously there. I think it's all about context, like, and I'm fine with that because, like, there's levels to this. Like an Imperial officer, you know, and honestly, it's kind of fitting, right? Like if you had a job, and like, you know, if you kind of wanted to exert your authority, like you might kind of talk down to your underlings, but then like your superiors kind of put you in place, and that's kind of Hux's situation. So
yeah,
I don't know, like
I mean, and I said I'm perfectly content with that. I just said like I think there's a better way to do it than kind of make them like what they did, where they like just like when like flops them on the floor, and we're just like, I'm like, I mean, it doesn't ruin the Hux right then, but they do it so many more times that are not.
He only gets thrown twice. Like there's like Snoke like throws him to the floor, which I would say is not even comedic. Like he just like his nose is bleeding.
100% comedic.
It's no, that scene's not really meant to be comedic.
I think it is comedic. He's like, good, right, I'll take it to my quarters. And he's walking off, and then Snoke just appears, like his massive head on the bridge, and then Hux says, good. And then his head slams onto the deck. I don't think you can say that's not comedic at all.
Yeah, and especially the way Hux reacts to that. He's like, good. It's 100% comedic. There's no...
Okay, I'll give you that.
So like I was going to say, Episode 8 ends... I still think, you know what, I take back what I said. I do think maybe they could revive Hux if they really wanted to. Because, I mean, The Force Awakens, I loved The Awakens. But Episode 9 just hammers it home, man. When they make him the traitor, which is fine, but the way they handle it, and how they just off Hux just like that. I'm like, this guy was a pretty big deal within the first two movies. Like, he was one of the bigger villains.
Are you saying Hux should have done a light speed kamikaze? That would have been...
No, I'm saying Hux shouldn't just been off midway through the movie like it's nothing. I'm like, this is a bigger character than what you guys just realized. I think we can all agree.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
A pretty big character within the sequels, and then 9's just like, oh, and I'm like, what?
I think having a Legion General Pride shoot him isn't... Like, I don't think that's a problem, but... definitely, no, yeah, I agree with you. The way that it was done was just so like, wait, what? I guess Hux is dead. Like,
no, he just
even matter.
No, he just like, there's not even like a reaction. It's like when Phasma dies, it's like kind of built up to, right? Like Finn kind of has his like quirky line with her, and then like you see her eye, and she like falls through the fire, and it's like, oh, like that was like a big like, oh snap, like Phasma's gone. But like Pride like just quickly takes the gun, shoots Hux, and then like cut to the next scene. Like we're done with it. Like
ridiculous.
Moving on.
You can ask my brother. I actually like burned in the theater.
To compare it to when Tarkin kills Krennic, that is built up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like the difference there. I mean, obviously, Legion General Pride can't shoot him with one of his Star Destroyers. That'd be a bit. Although,
General Pride shouldn't have been a thing in the beginning. It should have just been hey, Episode 9.
I mean,
Episode 9 is really
common ground.
And at the end of the day, what makes us all happy Star Wars fans is that we all hate Episode 9. And there's like, I can't meet someone who doesn't.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
All the crap you've given me for prequel hate, and you're like basking in the fact that we can all hate 9. Like, bro, like that's not the Jedi way.
I mean, listen.
Bro, fear leads to hatred. Hatred leads to anger. Anger leads to
death.
Wait, hold on. No. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. There we go.
Also, Boyo code number 62.
There we go. Oh, shout out to Lego Mike again. He says, did I hit that hundo mark yet? Honestly, I would assume so. Maybe. I don't know. But his comment says, 52 Lego sets, 537 figs. 2 years of Lego later. This is a dope purchase. Lego my Kyle Keys is... Oh my god. I cannot believe I struggled with that. It says, Lego Mike is legendary. Appreciate it again, dude. Excuse me.
Yeah, but Episode 9 just... Oh my god, I could punch Episode 9 in the face. And it's not even a real person.
Bro, you're hating on Episode 9 too much.
No, I'm not. And you know, I don't think you disagree with me. That they totally just were like... Hux was a bigger character than what they gave him credit for in Episode 9. This isn't Akbar, this is Hux. He had lots of screen time in the first 2 movies.
I feel like it took a lot of clarity for you to say this isn't Akbar, this is Hux. Like I give you a lot of credit for that.
It's true because Hux deserved so much more. Like I'm not saying you have to give him. I don't mind that he died. That is perfectly fine. It's the way that he died that is just so casual. You're like, oh yeah, he died. It's like, no, this isn't just a normal thing. This is supposed to be a bigger deal.
Even Bulio had more of like an impactful death. Like putting his head on the plate. It's like, oh, like Bulio's like, yeah, like. You know, win the war. Okay, cool. Next time you see him, head on the plate. Like, whoa. Hux is just like, all right, moving on. Next scene. But that's the whole movie. That whole movie's just like, all right, moving on. Shout out to Bricks Films for the $2 donor. He says Mandalorian premieres at 4:30 2 months later. Hey, better late than never.
So ridiculous.
Jedi Bob, if it makes you feel better, 9.
You agree with me?
No, if it makes you feel better, 9 is not the worst Star Wars movie.
I mean,
it gets worse.
No, well, not to me.
I know that was mostly a joke.
2 is the only one that's worse to me.
That was a joke.
But I just it's so.
All these brown pieces.
Right, Jay? Like they should have given him something bigger than what happened.
Like on my tier of like things 9 did wrong, like Hux's treatment can't even anger me because there's so many other things that are just wrong. Like that's just so low on the list. Like
I mean, don't believe me. Like Poe and Finn just not having that chemistry anymore. Like
I mean, they had chemistry. It just okay. So I think that's actually not true. I think like Poe and Finn definitely had chemistry in that movie. Like the fact that they're all together is a good thing. The fact that Poe and Rey are like bickering, I don't really care for because we never got to see a relationship develop. So like, it's like the bulk of our memories of Poe and Rey are them bickering. But like Poe and Finn have banter, and I think Poe and Finn are mostly fine in that movie. It's not like Episode 7 level, but it's not horrible.
But it should have been Episode 7 level.
I mean, yeah, like I said, it could absolutely be better, but it's still something. I'd say in 9 they have a better relationship than like Anakin and Obi-Wan ever did in the movies.
Oh, Jay, I never got to tell you.
What's up? It's okay, take your time.
Wonderful weather we're having.
Hey, what's up, Galata6? How you doing, bro?
Intert is pregnant. He's gonna give birth to little Intertinos, 2x2 coral splat gears.
In much the same way as Finn, I'll never get to tell you.
Oh, I see. Okay. I see what he did there.
Oh my, don't even get me started on that stupid plotline.
I see
What was the point of that? I really don't understand.
I don't know. Apparently Finn is now a force wielder because, you know, that's what the world needed.
Nah, bro. That's only in the Star Wars Twitter canon.
Oh my god. You know 9 Nub died?
I mean, who
Did anyone-
cares?
I mean,
Disgraceful.
Listen,
Why didn't he Lightspeed a ship?
Exactly.
He was at that
I
battle.
don't
Bro,
mind as much, but
9 was at that battle too, just like the Aces.
all
Bruh.
I'm saying is that to death. I at least would have liked to at least be seen. I don't care if he's just being blown up. I at least want to see it. Like,
I don't know,
was,
if
like,
it-
someone.
For the purposes of the sequels, if you ask me, like, all right, we get to either see Nine Nub or Snap Wexley like die, I'll take
I would prefer Snap.
I'll take Snap exactly because he's like a new character.
No, that's fine. But I'm like, if it wasn't shown in the movie, what was the point of even putting it out there? I'm like, all right, you
Snap-
don't need that. You know what, Billy, go
Snap's
nuts.
death was the. Sorry, you go.
Oh no, you can go. It's fine.
Snap's death was like the most emotional, hard-hitting moment of that entire film.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
And that's saying something.
Andre Akbar was not killed off screen.
I remember back in the day when me and Jay would be discussing episode 9, he would try to convince me, because I would always be like, bro, I hope they don't do the love storyline between Rey and Kylo. Man, I really hope Kylo, and this is before episode 9's trailer came
okay.
out, and I'd be like, I really hope Kylo isn't gonna turn good, and you're like, oh, I don't think it'll happen. You're wrong, Jay.
I mean, I didn't want to. I didn't want it to happen this way. Are you happy? Are you proud that you were right there?
I didn't want any of it to happen.
Excuse
I
me.
knew it would.
Excuse me for thinking JJ had standards.
I knew it. I knew this would happen. I was like, there's no way they won't turn Kylo good. It's Disney we're talking about.
Cosmic Brick says, Jay, what are your thoughts on Leia flying? Can we just put the Ixnay on the Leia lying Faye? Leia does not fly in space. Leia does not fly. She floats, as do every other thing in space. I just broke another 1x2 slope. Every brown piece I'm placing, I can just hear them cracking, and it's just so saddening.
Bro, can we talk about how great Spider-Man Far From Home is?
Oh, we are not. You are not allowed to talk about Spider-Man on these streams.
No, I was just gonna say,
The only Boyo approved Spider-Man movie is Into the Spider-Verse.
Oof.
that's a great movie. I like almost every single Spider-Man movie except the 2 Amazing Spider-Mans. Those movies suck.
Jedi Bob, I just said you're not allowed to talk about Spider-Man on stream.
I ain't talking. All right.
Last time you talked about Spider-Man, things did not go well.
Hey, I'm not talking about that man anymore.
That man. That man.
That man.
Oh my god, I hate putting pieces on long Technic rods. It's just, ugh. It's not funny.
Don't get Pirates of Barracuda Bay.
Oh,
if
okay.
That's the case.
Do you actually have that set?
Yeah, it was the prize for the Style It Up contest.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
Just in thirdstains.tumblr.com. Casually winning contests like it's nothing to him.
Oh yeah, it was a little contest I won. Might have heard of it.
No. I was not expecting to win that at all. First of the Legos entries were blowing everyone else's out of the water every week. I was like, oh, there is no way.
Are you saying it was a happy moment? The happiest moment of your life?
Happiest moment of my life.
There you go. This is a happy moment. Happiest moment of my life. I hope Star Wars Theory, I don't know how this would happen, but if his wife decides to record them revealing, her revealing she's pregnant to him, I would really hope that he would say, this is a happy moment. Happiest moment of my life. I will pay anyone in the chat to deliver their wedding vows in Anakin's tone and voice.
You're so Beautiful.
I promise to love you for my whole life. Through sickness and what I don't know what are like typical wedding vows. Through sickness and in health.
Thickness.
That too. All right, so we got ourselves the Battle of Geonosis set here. Cool set, like straight like this is a cool looking set. I love that there's the like platform on the outside of this door, and then you get a decent wall set up here on the background. I'm also happy to have this thing built. I want to put this in front of my Republic gunship, and the gunship's not going to shoot at him because the gunship ran out of missiles. We're also going to pretend that the gunship doesn't have any other weapons.
I always thought that moment in the film was like, oh, the clones are already following the orders of Palpatine because they won't shoot Dooku. Like, obviously that is not the case. They literally were just out of rockets.
I don't like that scene. Still, just like there's other weapons on that ship, man. Use any of them.
You got the mini Death Stars on there.
But... Exactly.
Oh my god! Don't even. I can't even. The mini Death Star tech.
I'm sorry, Jedi Bob. I didn't mean to trigger you.
It's okay, Lim. I'm just sorry. Everything about that movie infuriates me, and that was one thing. I'm like, listen, I don't mind it on Crate because it doesn't matter because they're just like, oh, it's mini Death Star tech. I'm like, alright, it's gonna blow through the door, whatever, not the planet.
Yeah, they're
like,
Imperial remnants, like it makes sense.
But like the fact that it's on every Star Destroyer, like you guys couldn't do anything else.
We're not talking about Episode 9.
Oh, I thought you guys were. I heard mini Death Star tech after I came back, and
No.
I'm like, oh god.
No, the Republic gunship. Those little bubbles on the side, they're basically mini Death Stars.
Yeah,
Oh.
they shoot the green lasers.
Oh yeah.
This was back when they still included like obscure characters. Like if this set came out today, Poggle would not be in this set. But I'm glad this came out in this time period, so he does come in the set.
I mean, he may have been in this set.
They don't do this anymore. Like the only time they only do this for like the new films. Like because they kind of have to cram as many minifigs over like 6 to 7 sets.
I like what the
Yeah, they definitely do random inclusions, like K2SO and Bodhi in Krennic's Shuttle.
Dude,
Like, those characters don't even meet.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like for the movies, they absolutely like will do it.
Dude, I love how Nuke Gunray was included in Anakin stuff. Inclusive?
What is the recent M&R controversy? Am I missing something?
M&R.
Like, there's a M&R controversy.
Oh, there's always an M&R controversy.
Which one is this? What am I missing?
Is he?
Why did someone say something in chat? Or?
Yeah, Tanuki Billy's like, are you able to comment on the recent M&R controversy?
What happened this time?
Alright.
I literally have no idea.
Some guy with like 2 million subscribers made a video about how Mega Blocks is better than Lego.
But did M&R respond to that?
Oh, he used a picture or a clip from one of M&R's Brickbusters.
Oh, okay.
Right, but did M&R say something about that?
I don't think so.
I was about to say, if the guy has 2 million subscribers, I don't know what M&R really could do. You can only go after mostly people that are less popular than you.
Bro, I love this set because you can make Yoda flip around. It's so fun. Look at you. Hold on, let me get my webcam. I have to show you guys how amazing this set is.
I don't know what that sound was.
That was Yoda.
Oh. Bro, that is so stupid when he's like flipping around. I'm like, why is this in there?
Tanuki Billy said someone came forward accusing M&R of misconduct.
What?
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 No, it wasn't misconduct. It was just saying that it was kind of dumb.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh man.
This honestly has the same problem as the Ultimate Lightsaber Duel. Yoda's on like a weak hand, so you can barely like get him to rotate. Here we go. You guys want to see the best lightsaber duel in all of Star Wars? Well, I don't want to take Dooku off of his fleeter, so he'll just be right here. Imagine if Dooku fought Yoda on a speeder. Like, he was like flying past him and like hitting him, and then like he'd like come back around, and bro, that'd be awesome. That'd be cool.
Bro, it would be like the jousting scene from Clone Wars.
Exactly, yeah, with Dirge.
Such a good thing, though.
With here we go. Look at Yoda.
That was the stupidest scene and also the most amazing scene ever.
Exactly.
They should have included one of these in Palpatine's arrest.
The medieval jousting on speeder bikes.
Oh yeah.
Bro, it's so
Don't get me started on how stupid.
so amazing.
Bro, this should be in Palpatine's arrest. Could you imagine if like there was a Sheev spin play feature? Look at this.
Oh my god.
Alright. Ignoring the fact of how stupid it looks in the movie, I do actually like the play feature of being able to pick up figures like with the sticks and fighting.
I just wish he was on like a stat. I mean, if they just use the other neck brace piece, like I would much prefer it if it was like a static thing.
I'm surprised they you know all the like fight mechanic things that they've got for Ninjago, like the stands that they stand on, and obviously they stand on the stands, and then they have the tire on the base, and you kind of roll them and they twirl around. And
I don't think I've seen
I'm
that.
surprised they haven't put those in sets yet.
I don't think I've seen that.
You used it for the chairs in Star Killer.
Oh, that thing. Okay, yeah,
Smoke
yeah,
show.
okay, yeah. Bro, this is so, look at this.
Is this how you used to play with Lego as a small child?
Into exile I must go.
Failed I have.
Third I have. Bro, I want a Yoda going into exile Lego set.
Smoke swamp I shall. Yes, get the bean I need.
The dark side clouds everything the dark side does.
I think it's time to inform the Senate that our ability to use the Force is diminished.
Yes.
I hate that line so much. Like, what does that even mean?
If notified our enemy is multiplied, our adversaries will be.
Oh, did you guys see Building Mandalorian is about to premiere in 15 minutes?
Oh.
We're gonna chill out here, and then we're gonna go rate David's video with very polite comments.
You're gonna spam him to listen to Murder on Anakin's Mind.
Is he actually premiering it, or is he just dropping the
It's
video?
not a premiere, yeah, it's gonna be premiered.
Holy crap, that's gonna be a long premiere.
Yeah. I don't know, you can be a true boy and watch it, Rich Boy J.
I probably won't watch it because I don't really like David very much. Yeah, I'll probably just give him a thumbs down and move on with my day.
This will be a day long remembered. It has seen the end of M&R, and it will soon see the end of David.
Exactly.
The end of M&R.
No, that was only for the sake of a quote.
Bro, we're about to see the end of Yoda.
Bold of you to assume that hasn't happened yet.
There is another.
No, I was talking about the greatest character assassination since JFK.
How about this
Was
character
he a
assassination?
character to
Yeet!
Yeah, what?
Character.
This 1900s film is really long.
Bro, the sequel sucks though.
I want them to get back to the World War III storyline.
Give me the Death Star plans, you will.
You seem like you're having fun.
This is cool.
It looks
Sound like Anakin in the end one. This is fun.
Darth, and then Dooku's just like, "See ya, losers!" Pew. Oh no! Save Poggle, I must. Save Poggle, I must. Hold on. Thing's not long. There we go. Saved you, I have. Oh, too heavy it is.
You could make a full video with these, like, I don't know, never mind.
Oh, bro, that's gonna be my channel's exclusively just gonna be watching Jay play with his new Lego sets.
Honestly, is it bad that I'm thinking?
Came for the Jedi Bob debates. Stayed for the Jay playing with Yoda.
Is it bad that I kind of want to make a full video using like those like that like technique of having the sticks attached to people's backs and make a full video with that?
Hop in, loser. Destroy. Going into exile, we must go. Into exile, we must go.
Yes. Greatest anime crossover episode of all time. If you're from Tatooine, why are you white? Oh my God, Kiadi you can't just ask people if they're white.
Oh, shout out to Lego Mike again. He says, "Remember me, Jay. Please see you in the Boyos next stream." All right, take care, man. Thanks for everything today. Seriously.
Good boy.
Happy loser. Into exile we must go.
Rich Bluebrick says rich boy play.
Where's Techno Union? He needs to make a
Yeah.
Mean Girls poster.
Yes.
Lego Yoda.
Yo, there should have been like an Order 66 scene where like someone's in like a Republic vehicle, like a Jedi's like piloting a speeder, and then the speeder stops because the speeder is sentient. Well, not really sentient, but it like they reprogram the speeders in the vehicles to also like kill Jedi, and then the cannon on the back is just like.
It's just he holds on a sign like a cartoon that says "Rut-row."
Meet me.
That'd be a really funny video. Clone Jedi.
Yo, this is a cool set though. I actually really like this set. Like all the architecture on the back has big Geonosis vibes for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we need a remake.
Going slowly on the left. I'm taking him now. Wait, Anakin.
No.
Zap.
No.
Zap.
Oh, I don't think so.
I tell you what, in that scene, there's a sound effect that I really like. It's nothing compared to the sonic blast in the asteroid field, but when Dooku is pulling like the light fittings off the wall, and they go.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good sound effect.
Let me ask you guys this: when you guys used to or still play with your Star Wars Legos, do you make the lightsaber sounds?
Of course.
Yeah.
I thought
I
it was
mostly do the spaceships, but yeah.
Yeah. True.
Let me ask you guys a second. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I know why he doesn't have one, but I really wish Dooku had a stick on this set. It's kind of boring to like just have him sitting here and have Yoda like having to jump around him, you know. It is clear that this battle cannot be decided with our knowledge of the Force, but instead with a... Can we agree that's like one of the worst lines to ever be uttered in Star Wars?
Wait,
Yeah.
someone should, you know that bit in Guardians of the Galaxy where Peter Quill just starts dancing in front of Ronan?
Yeah.
Someone should edit this scene to be like that. Like Yoda just starts flipping around and Dooku's just standing there like, what are you doing?
Have you guys seen this video? There's this guy that makes really funny like edits of Star Wars, and he made a video where Yoda's like falling into the car at the end of Revenge.
Oh, and he misses?
And
Yeah.
he just goes and he just falls.
Bro, I wish I had like a prequel bail. Hold on. Here we go. I got you guys. Y'all want reenactments? I'll give you reenactments.
Oh my god.
Where is old Bale when you need him?
Yo, have you guys ever watched the Oral Notes Jedi Party series?
I have not.
Oh, it's pretty funny. It's here on YouTube. Probably the best parodies of Star Wars.
Crap, I can't find my Bail Organa minifigure.
Bruh.
Elusive, just like the real rebellion leader.
True.
Have you looked behind Mon Mothma? Is he lurking in the shadows?
He should have died by killing himself, by kamikazing it and shit. He should have Okay, let me ask you guys an actual question though. Like, do you guys think if someone kamikazed themselves into the Death Star, do you think it would have worked?
Oh.
Nope.
Snoke's ship is huge, but the Death Star is so much bigger.
Remember how the Executor kind of did that, and it's.
Oh yeah, and it was tiny.
It's like a balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have had like a small little fart sound, like.
I mean, would it have done damage to it? Yeah, sure. And
Yeah, but would it have blown it up? No, that's why.
and also the Death Star has shields. Like the X-wings get like rocked around and stuff. I always assumed that was the case, that because they're so small they can penetrate the shield on the first Death Star, not the second one. But a larger ship wouldn't be able to do that just because it's so big. I don't know if that's correct or not, but that's what I assume.
I hope you're proud of me. I went into David's Mandalore chat and everyone was saying hashtag for Mandalore, and I went hashtag for Starkiller.
Hey! Alright, here we go, guys. Man, Yoda's sure taking long. I hope I parked in the right place. Well, too late. Meanwhile, Yoda's falling. I mean, is it really?
I do like the idea that I know that he's following a tracking beacon and that's the reason. But I love the idea that he just had this prearranged plan. Like, I mean, if I fail, I'm not saying I am, but if I fail, you got to come over underneath this exact hatch at this exact time, and I'll be there.
I'll be ready for you, bro.
Give me a lift, you will. Yes.
Get to me, you guys.
I don't know, Yoda.
And he's
Whoa.
Girls on so fire. Give me a lift, you will. Run you over with my Honda Civic, I will.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
all.
can I ask you guys if you like that scene, like the scene where Elgar's like, what's going on here? And they're like, there's been a rebellion, so I'm sorry. It's time for you to leave. Like, I like that scene.
Yeah, I like
That's a good scene.
I think I quite like that because it shows that even a senator it's like the beginning of the Senate being just disbanded and it means nothing now. It's just about the Emperor. I think that was a fairly clever way of showing that without drawing it out too long.
Yeah.
Oh, I just like that scene because the clone, like, I don't know. It's just a cool little scene.
He's like,
Yeah, just look at.
weren't expecting me, were you?
Count Dooku just...
Hello there.
Hello there.
You can Count Dooku got the babes.
Oh yeah.
Bro, definitely. Bro, it's the Count of Sereno. Imagine like how much you can pull with that alone.
Can we just appreciate that his title isn't Duke instead of Count? It's so ridiculous of me.
Dooku.
Earl Augustus baby on Felonius Dooku.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Dooku the Lesser.
Dooku the last.
And Poggle's like, do it. Hold on, wait.
Oh, that Poggle minifigure looks pretty good, though.
He's like,
Yeah.
do it.
So good.
And he's like, and Yoda's like,
Jay, is the head on Poggle secure? Because on my one it's like ridiculously loose. Like the wings keep pushing it off.
it's not super loose, but it's not super secure. Like, the wings aren't gonna push it up, but I could see over time how that could happen.
Personally, I think the wings should be a plastic piece and not like the little thing they give you.
Oh, you mean like a hard piece?
Yeah, or like a rubbery type of piece.
I'm like these because
I
you
think-
can like flap them. You know, they're like, I don't know. I like the
The wings and
soft wings.
the wings themselves look good. It's the stuff going on around the neck that kind of breaks it a little bit. Like, you know, this bulky folded over plastic 4 times kind of.
No, but you know who I don't hate? Matthew T.
Facts.
Holy crap, dude! You guys always get the donos before I do, so I'm like, oh yeah, Matthew T probably donated 501 again. $50.10. Oh my god. He says Admiral Piet figure from the Superstar Stir had it going for $45 for months. Some guys selling a handful for $13 each. I'd recommend grabbing one if you didn't. So the funny thing about that figure is, yeah, that was an expensive figure. I don't know how, but like randomly a bunch of people, like the market just kind of got flooded with it at some point. So I actually bought 3 for like $10 each on eBay, and I sold 2 of them on Bricklink for like $30 each.
What is unique about him? Is it just his torso?
I think it's his. Wait, is it his face? I don't think it's his face anymore. Yeah, it's the torso.
Face too.
Yeah, it's the torso.
Of them for $13 each. Wow.
Yeah, it's the torso for sure. Dude, Matthew T, thank you so much. Oh my god. This stream has been insane.
It's been fun, but I must go.
Why? You're going to watch Mandalorian. You're going to watch Mandalore, aren't you?
I don't know. It's not like I've been on David's stream. That's like 2 weeks.
Wow. All right, guys. Since David is so much cooler than me, I guess I'll end my stream so we can all go watch this video.
I'm going.
No, I mean Jedi Bob. I mean, what am I without you?
The stream will be a lot more entertaining without me.
Oof. Yeah, Lego Mike and Matthew T, you two should absolutely battle. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
All donos go to the Get Rich Boy J, to the United Kingdom to Bull with Waffles and Enthert Fund, as well as the fund Rich Boy J so he can build Enthert's redacted fund. Do you have any estimate for how many parts are in that so far? Oh, and Enthert has gone silent.
I'm just looking at it.
I want to look at it.
No. I don't know how many.
Okay, do you have any idea of the dimensions of it?
Yeah, hang on. I'll just get... I can only give you them in studs, though.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
I mean, that's a dimension we can all understand.
For sure. Yeah. That's the universal measurement.
There's 915 people waiting.
Oh my... Holy crap.
Oh my god.
I would pull up on my stream so we could watch it, but I wouldn't, like... I want David to get as many views as he deserves, so...
Maybe we can have a watch party in the Discord.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. Oh, maybe we'll do that in the cantina. So here's a good pitch. If you guys want to have like a little watch party, we can hop in the cantina.
Okay.
So just before I'll tell you the dimensions. 70 studs high and about 80 long. It will be 80 long when it's done.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow, that's massive.
Dude. That's like the biggest vehicle. Actually, it was the squid thing bigger than it?
Yes, but then the squid thing was built in, it had to be built in a month, so it was rushed. And it's not based on anything like that.
Oh my god, Matthew T and Lego Mike. Alright, guys. We're gonna... Jeez. Shout out to Matthew T with the $50.10 dono. He just says, challenge accepted. Lego Mike says, let's get you to London. Matt T is my Padawan. Whoa. That's some shade. That is some shade. Matthew T, you gonna let him disrespect you like that?
Begun the bidding wars.
Bro, you guys are gonna see me in the UK very soon well, not very soon, because I'm not allowed to go there right now, being an American.
Next year.
Hopefully.
We just have a droid detector, except it's recalibrated.
I would actually love to actually get to meet you guys. How about this? If I ever, whenever I'm allowed to go there, I'll bring my copy of Redacted, and we can have and Waffles can bring his copy of Redacted, and we can recreate the scene with Redacted.
Facts.
Bold of you to assume I'm not going to build an entire fleet.
I will at least build 2. Like, at the very least.
Yeah, you win.
The redacted color and the other redacted color.
Exactly. Wait, Enter, do you not plan to keep... Do you even plan to keep it built? Like...
Oh, absolutely, it's going to be keep built.
Okay.
I'll spend the better part of 2 years just to break it up once it's done.
Yeah. I got you.
What I will do, though, is I'll make, like, alternate hull panels so that it can be exploded.
I got you.
That's cool.
That would be sick. Alright, so this bidding war seems over. We can go ahead and end the stream and go check out David's Mandalore. So, thanks to everyone who tuned in today. It was awesome. Good time. I got a really cool set built, and I can finally play with my Count Dooku minifig. So, you guys, tomorrow will be your questions answered. Sunday will be another, what's that thing called? Oh, Star Killer. Can't believe I forgot that on stream. Oh god. Shout out to Matthew T again. He says, "You're darn right I'm simping for Jay. Did you see that Vardos mock finale? I watched it a dozen times." That is some dedication. I appreciate that, bro. But yeah, I'm actually just as excited to check out Mandalore as you guys are. Hopefully David's still talking in the video right now. So, oh my god, Lego Mike, dude. Shout out to Lego Mike again for the $50 or 15-cent donate, bro. The 5 cent, he upped you by 5 cents, bro. Says the force is strong with me, Master J. Hello, Darth Matthew. I love how he was your pal. Maybe I should just go watch David's Mandalore, but leave the stream up.
Yes.
All right. I'll give you guys a few more minutes to decide if this is gonna go on any longer. Just my arm is in the way. Here. I'll at least pull up Mandalore so I can look at it. 2,000 watching. Oh my god. What am I doing wrong with my life? Okay, yeah, David's still talking in the video. Alright.
So many figures. Oh my gosh.
Dude, this is like Kashyyyk on steroids. Jeez. I'm happy that I'll end the stream once David stops talking in the Mandalore video. He's still giving like sponsors, so it's all good. I don't feel too bad.
Has he said without do yet?
That's a good that's like a solid bricks drinking game. Find the without do. That is so many minifigs. Oh my god. I can't believe he has 2,000 people. Dude, if I can get like 300 people watching the Star Killer finale, I'll freaking cry myself to sleep. Shout out to Lego Mike again for the $10 dono. Oh my god. It says, "My lightsaber is ready." Shout out to Matthew T again. Okay, it says, "This is my last donation for the day. I'm about to place this last Bricklink order for parts for Jay's Razor Crest. You win this time, Lego Mike." Alright, that makes me happy. The conflict has been resolved. So, actually, I did want to mention real quick, Brick Plumber actually kind of commissioned me to build one of my Razor Crests for him. So, I'll probably be doing like a Razor Crest stream sometime soon so you guys can actually see it get built. Because whenever I built it... Yeah, like, whenever I built it, it was supposed to be a surprise, so you guys never really got to see it come together. But it'll be fun to, 1, show you guys it be built, and 2, I'll actually, at some point, have 2 of them together, so that'll be kind of fun as well. But all the parts are on the way, so I honestly, depending on how long it takes, I might be able to start next week.
I'm picturing a recreation of the Spider-Man meme.
Oh, yeah. Alright, I'll actually end the stream now. Matthew T has conceded. The war is over. Just like the Chancellor promised us, we finally have peace.